Cambridge. Is he still up there? But he doesn't play much, right? He's just that's what I thought.
2, 1. Josh Hennick here on 97.3 ESPN tonight. It's the start of NFL Week 11. It is the Steelers versus the Browns. Joining us live from First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, it is Larry Roth from the Sports Plus Network. Larry, how you doing today?
Hey, Josh, we're doing great. Things can't be going better than they are.
Right outside
Look, Josh,
of that stadium
winning without the knowledge and the information isn't an easy thing to do. For us, it's extremely attainable. As you know, we treat this like investing at Sports Plus Network. Josh, you have two teams tonight. You have Pittsburgh, obviously, they're on quite a 4-game win streak, doing very well with Cleveland.
I was
finally won
absolutely
last week.
enthralled with their
It's a
guy
very
outside of the
physical
stadium
matchup.
in Cleveland.
There are 7 key players
Harry,
between the two teams that are questionable for tonight's game. People do not wager on this game until you have privileged information like we have.
What's up?
We pick our spots carefully. We love the matchup tonight. We're willing to prove to all callers that we can win for you for free. Call us now. You'll get the free winner of Pittsburgh Cleveland tonight at 888-895-6555.
What?
Again,
Does it
please
sound
call
tinny in your
tonight.
headsets? I don't think so.
I can't even hear anybody in my headset.
Those who are calling
All I hear is the
are
station.
experiencing winning like
You don't
never
hear
before.
anything,
We treat this like investing.
Now I hear it myself.
Every investment is mind-blowing, so we won't have our clients make a play unless the information warrants it. Tonight,
I can't hear
we love
Coach
the
either.
matchup.
Can't hear me. Coach can't hear me or Harry.
888-895-6555.
Now it's better? You got it on?
Of course, you can hear all the action right here on 97.3
No, I can't hear Coach.
His mic's not on.
Coverage begins after Tony Bruno's countdown to kickoff. And Larry, of course, this is a game, a big rivalry between AFC North matchups. It's an intense rivalry. But the last time the game was played at First Energy Stadium, which is where you are at, they tied the game.
Yeah, this game is not going to end in a tie, probably. We all know that. But look, Josh, there's a lot that goes into what we do here. We spend a lot of money. We're connected properly. We don't look to pull the trigger unless the information warrants it. We treat every game like an investment. And we tell our clients to make a play when it's warranted. Tonight, we feel we're in a real good spot with this. Obviously, Pittsburgh has been winning week after week. Cleveland finally won last week to snap that losing streak they're on. Coach Kitchens is certainly on the hot seat. Pittsburgh wants to keep the roll going. We're making a very substantial move tonight. We're telling our clients to make the wager with both hands. People, be smart, be responsible. Winning is what it's all about. Tonight, we are making a very substantial move on this game.
Very
get it for free. See what it's all about.
Josh, are you making the move with both hands tonight?
We win consistently. We will win for you tonight. Call us now at 888-895-6555. I repeat, free winner.
You are looking live.
888-895-6555. We will win for you, no strings attached.
That's Thursday Night Football. Steelers at Browns with the Sports Plus Network right here on 97.3 ESPN.
If he loses, he'll give you the rest of the year free.
Enough reason with Geico. You're eating spicy food and start to get that prickly feeling on your tongue. Oh, this has a kick. You have more than enough reason to pump the brakes. But no, nothing's going to hold you back now.
This is good.
Hot.
He
Good.
is.
You've also got more than enough reason to switch to Geico.
I asked
Because
him
with
to
Geico,
hang out tomorrow night.
you've got the ability to reach an agent for help 24/7.
You know, his cousin Bill.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Wasn't
he
he
a
a
beer
beer
distributor
distributor
guy?
guy? Yeah, I know.
They're getting together
Oh,
tomorrow
those
night.
two are like
Yeah, well, you know what? They didn't talk for years.
Really?
They had some
You'll
falling
never
out
feel
between their
love
kids.
with
Got in
Geico
trouble.
because they're
Oh,
available
really?
They were tight.
24/7. Maybe that's
Yeah,
why
when
it's
I
five
knew
years.
Al,
that
that was like his
customer
best friend.
satisfaction rate.
Right. So they haven't hung out in 5 years. They're going to dinner tomorrow night.
While you're trying to
yeah?
look composed with a mouthful of
They're
ice
breaking
cream,
bread.
Yeah, those
yourself at the drink
Italians.
menu.
They're
You can
breaking
feel
bread.
relieved
It's
to
hard-
knowing
yeah,
Geico
it's
helps
breaking
with
heads.
homeowners
It's hard to
and
break a
renters
grudge.
insurance through the Geico Insurance Agency too. At least once you can feel your lips again.
Someone might sleep with the fishes after tomorrow.
Oh, man.
Right. I hope they bring the fishes in here soon, man. But not too many Ali's on there.
Yeah,
Who does Al's insurance for all them gas stations?
I don't know.
Okay, there's no dolphin. But skills test.
Al's got a little bit of a gambling bug.
Oh, yeah. He's always
He's
had that.
crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
Yeah, but
My son fought in AC last year.
Yeah.
And since then, Al's like, I'm coming to every one of his fights. I won like 40 grand playing craps, which is a whole other language. I don't understand the game. So
yeah, I don't. Yeah, but yeah, he had it when I knew him, but he didn't have money. Now he got money.
That's funny.
So now it's bad.
Yeah, he at his our family Christmas parties at his house, and all the kids are sitting in a big circle. There's got to be 25 kids playing some game, They each start with $3. I don't know if it's called left, right, and center or something, but that was a gambling game. Al won that. He wins everything. He's so lucky.
Wow.
WENJ-HD, Millville, Atlantic City. The following program is paid for, and the opinions expressed are not those of Town Square Media or station advertisers. This is the Thursday Night Football Countdown to Kickoff.
Mr. Monday Night is here at no additional charge to you.
With Tony Bruno and Harry Mays on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. Live from Screwballs and King of Prussia, it's Bruno and Mays.
I'm excited for it. I'm ready for it.
Featuring Eagles and NFL insider John McMullen, Colin Thompson, and the self-proclaimed king of the coaching world, Henry Racich. Presented by Body Check Wellness, powered by Davios, and fueled by the IBEW Local 98. Now, the countdown to kickoff.
Let's play some damn football.
With Tony Bruno and Harry Mays.
You're live.
You are looking live in downtown. Well, we're not really downtown anywhere here, are we?
Kind of.
Is this downtown King of Prussia?
No. This is like residential King of Prussia.
Exactly
you know
right.
I mean?
We're with the people. We are live at Screwballs and King of Prussia, our favorite Thursday night hangout. We're here every week. Tony Bruno and Harry Mays back together again. Just like we were earlier today, except we were on two separate lines when we had a four-way hookup earlier today.
That's right.
Harry Mays, Eitan Shander, the great Jason Martinez, and you guys were throwing axes earlier today, right?
Yeah, we were.
Did anybody get scalped?
No, it's actually very safe.
I notice your right arm looks a little thicker tonight.
Yeah,
Harry.
no, actually, I almost threw out my. I might need Tommy John.
Oh no!
After today.
Now, what's the way? Because Miss Robin's a championship axe thrower.
Yeah, I am not.
So how many shots did you get? Now, do you have to sharpen your own knife? Do you go over to the lathe and get that baby nice and sharp?
No, I did not see any lathe. And in fact, mine probably could have used a little sharpening because I hit the
bounced
bullseye
off?
twice and it bounced off.
That's an outrage.
Yeah.
I think it's rigged against you, Harry.
It might be.
Now, Coach Racich, of course, the great Henry Racich, self-proclaimed greatest coach in Montgomery County. He's done
I have witnesses that I am.
This guy has not only he's a championship boxer. He's done everything. Trainer. Right? Coaching. But I got to say one thing about Coach Racich tonight. An absolute homer. As you know, Harry, this show is all about objectivity. There's no cheering in the press box. So what has he done tonight here?
He's got a Terry Bradshaw jersey for his Pittsburgh Steelers.
Classics.
Exactly. And
I went deep into the closet.
And he's got the whole family decked out in Pittsburgh
He's got his kids
gear.
now wearing Pittsburgh Steeler gear here in the middle of Philadelphia Eagle country, Harry.
Yeah.
How does this happen?
Proudly.
I understand that.
I'll tell you how this happens.
Your daughter, Libby.
Troy
Elizabeth,
Polamalu, right?
She's got the Troy Polamalu hair.
She was for Halloween. Yeah. She was Troy for Halloween.
Yeah, but she doesn't use Head and Shoulders.
No, she doesn't need. She doesn't have dandruff. Little kids don't have dandruff. And then his son, Henry VIII. Actually, he's only Henry. I asked him if he's Henry Jr. And he's no. He said. I said the second. And then you said, no, the third.
The third.
So on his jersey, does he have the three stripes, like Golden Tate, 1, 2, 3 on the back instead of?
No, we just skipped that. We put the steel. We put the steel.
Robert Griffin the third.
We put the steel on the back of the shirt.
The steel.
Now, we got to tell the story as we're getting started because the big Thursday night game is Steelers and Browns in Cleveland.
Yes.
Obviously, the coach, a big Steeler fan.
And I'm upset that I'm on the same side as this guy because he's typically a mush.
Yeah, he did. But he was on the right side last week. And tonight, I'm going to reveal the Thursday night pick, which will shock the world. I have special information on this game, Harry, that I will release tonight right here, live at Screwballs. You may have to put both hands in. You may have to put both hands in tonight.
What does that
dig into your bag of cash with both hands?
What does that mean?
I don't know. I hear these touts saying that. I'm going to use two hands tonight on this one. Use one
Italian
hand.
Two hands.
I'll give you two hands right here. This hand and then this hand right here. How's that? Meanwhile, we got action. So we'll break down the game. Harry and I are here to break down the Eagles, who may be breaking down on their own Sunday. The more you look at this game and the more you see that, obviously, Alshon Jeffrey is not 100%. Jordan Howard's not 100%. And even though the Eagles did watch film, because remember we talked to, is John McMullen going to join us tonight?
Yeah, he'll join us.
John McMullen and I had this discussion on Monday night at Landmark Americana about, the Eagles don't want to be reminded about the Super Bowl win a couple of years ago. And we were talking about how Malcolm Jenkins in particular, the year after they won, when they came back into training camp, they had, Super Bowl champions all over the place. And he said, no, we want to take that down.
Right, that was last year. You know,
and so there was a debate. Is it, you won it the 1 year, the first time in your history. Why take it down in the locker room the very next year? You're still the defending champs until you're eliminated. That's the way I look at it. So I said, why would you have a problem with acknowledge? He even played, so he was there. It's not like there's a bunch of new players.
Right.
There's a bunch of new players on both teams that weren't in the Super Bowl when the Eagles won in Minnesota a couple years ago. So what happens this week? Jim Schwartz sits the team down and shows them the replay of the Eagles-Patriots Super Bowl to get them excited for Sunday.
Where they gave up over 500 yards passing
but
to
they
Tom
won the
Brady.
game.
I know.
If you have to do that to get excited to play the Patriots,
yeah, that's
who, by the way, Tom Brady's coming in with an edge because he's so mentally derailed.
And they got
Super
buried
Bowl
the week before by the Ravens.
Yeah, coming off of a Patriots loss. I mean, look at those stats.
I'm just asking questions here. I'm not making determinations.
No,
maybe he's showing them to say, listen, you guys won a Super Bowl and you play like crap. How about if you ratchet it up, you still have – see, there's nothing wrong. People hire motivational speakers. College football teams bring in, big-name players, and they go outside and they give a pep talk. The Eagles used to bring in – who do the Eagles bring in all the time to jack up
Vince Papale?
No, they don't bring Vince anymore. That was like 1980. I think they stopped doing that. Who do they bring in? The man right behind you on the wall here.
Dawkins.
Brian Dawkins.
Yeah.
When Brian Dawkins comes out of the tunnel and does his thing, do you have a problem with that? With when the Steelers bring out Terry Bradshaw and all the other old school guys?
That doesn't do anything. I'm just going out on my self-proclaimed clipboard here.
Yes.
Yeah. You
don't
show
even have
a team.
Self-proclaimed clipboard.
It's all up here, just like the plays. When you have a team, you just showed your team that this is what we are not. We are not our defense is not a Super Bowl defense.
So maybe
that's not going to.
Yes, it will. Why wouldn't it?
Because these guys are professionals. They don't need the rah-rahs. And
it's not a rah-rah thing. They were watching – when they watch game film every week of the previous game.
But why would you watch a game 2 years old?
Because you want to remind your defense.
Yeah, I don't know how relevant it is because the quarterback is not here anymore that won that game.
But I understand. That's not the point, Harry. It's a cycle. It's not like he needed them to watch it because to remind them that they won the Super Bowl. He needed them to watch it because their team, which was underdogs, won the game, and they gave up a gazillion yards to Brady, but they found a way to win, and Brandon Graham made a big play. So I think the moral to the story is, you know what? Listen, they're the best team in football again right now, and you beat them a couple of years ago, and you can see that if we prepare and go after them, Baltimore beat them. They're not unbeatable. We have problems on defense, but you know what? If we focus and we can stick to the game plan, we can beat them again here on Sunday afternoon. What's wrong with a coach saying that to his players?
I just feel like it's a reach towards nostalgia. And I personally would – all the teams I've coached some, a couple of national championship teams. I would never show my new guys what my old guys did because that's what they did.
Right.
You're here now.
That was 2 years ago.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Why would you show us 1975?
Wait a minute. Every college football team in America.
Yeah, but that's college.
But even every NFL team.
You're talking about 19, 20-year-old kids.
Every NFL team, the Green Bay Packers, when they bring people, when the players go up there, free agents go up there, potential draft picks, and they take them and they show them Lombardi.
Their Wall of Fame
They
and
show them all the Super Bowls, all the NFL champions. What's wrong with that? You're telling everybody, listen, we have a pedigree.
Well, that's a sales pitch. You're trying to sell a free agent, hey, come to the Packers. Look what we do.
And
you're
talking about history there.
Why do all
these
these
sales
teams,
pitch.
Why do all these teams build these unbelievable practice facilities so when they bring guys in and then they grease them and they show them what happened? You don't think the Eagles winning that Super Bowl made them more of a destination for
they
many,
are,
many
but that
players?
doesn't do anything for them right now. The destination, what would they get?
It sounds
they
desperate.
got Jordan Matthews off the scrap heap in the last 10 days.
It sounds desperate. It sounds like a reach.
It's not desperate.
I have no problem with eliminating.
He didn't bring out pom-poms and said, let's go, boys, and bring in the cheerleaders.
Is this team's mentals frail? That frail.
No,
that
I don't
have
think
to
it has
reach
anything
back
to do with
into
that.
time and show when you were excellent, when you were the best, when you were the hungry dog, when you were the underdog. This team is not hungry.
How about they bring Jerry Rice in and to go into the wide receivers group's meeting room and tell them how to catch the frickin' ball? That would make a big difference.
Right.
If they could do that, they'd have 2 more wins on the schedule. They'd be 7-2, and nobody'd be bitching and moaning right now.
Who's bitching
Tony,
and moaning?
do you
I'm
think
just
somebody
talking about
came out of that meeting?
motivational speaking.
Do you think
Why do
they
we have
came out
Tony
pumped up?
Robbins? Why do people hire motivational speakers? Why do all these big companies hire somebody to come in when their employees are in a boardroom, in some conference room, and get them fired up? So why do we
It's
need
a motivational tool.
So what's wrong with motivational
I just
speaking?
can't see it working. I just don't understand.
Because you're an Eagle hater and you're
I'm not an Eagle hater.
I got no problem with
Eagle
him taking.
fan hater sometimes. I'm not an Eagle hater.
I got no problem with him taking down the stuff that reminds them that they won the Super Bowl too. Because
That's
it's just
complacency.
It's just like when I was back in my sales days. It's like you were the number one sales rep in September. Well, you go from hero to zero when the calendar turns to October 1st.
But don't you have
time to
don't
do it
you have
again.
those trophies and those reminders in your office when somebody comes in and you show them, listen, I was salesman of the year. I was salesman of the month. There are places now that put up employee of the month. So is that bad because the employee of the month had a good month last month and now all of a sudden this month they're no longer the employee of the month and it's good?
Just give me a set of steak knives, the key to the executive washroom, and the salesman of the month parking spot. And I'll be good.
They probably would have done better showing a Rocky
Ridiculous.
movie.
John McMullen's going to join us. The Philly Godfather is going to join us tonight, too.
What side's he going to be on tonight?
The Godfather?
Let's pick. Let's decide.
I know where he's going to be.
He's going to be with Pittsburgh?
Absolutely.
But then when he finds out that Henry's in his Bradshaw shirt,
we're
he's going to change the bet.
No, we went Raiders. Him and I went Raiders last week.
I haven't looked at the latest line, but the Cleveland Browns are 3-point favorites, Harry.
They stink.
I know they stink. So why are they 3-point
I don't
favorites?
know. I think
it must be in Cleveland.
It is in
Cleveland. Well, that's why.
It is in
But
Cleveland.
that still doesn't matter.
It shouldn't matter.
And it has nothing to do with them winning one game in a row.
I've
after
got some
losing.
great numbers, though, on season rematches. In-season rematches.
Well, this is war.
This is huge. I went deep this afternoon.
I went deep this afternoon, too, but I wasn't looking at football. But, hey.
Plus, the Browns showed some old Brian Sipe video.
Oh,
nice.
Brian Sipe.
That's the last time the Browns beat the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's the last time they were
Sipe
relevant.
Was the quarterback.
Yeah, Sipe
exactly right.
Maybe they showed that film to pump the Browns up.
We will have the numbers that you crave. We don't just throw stuff like an axe against the wall like Harry does. We break it down and narrow it down. We'll have the picks. We'll have the information. We'll talk more Eagles. We got John McMullen coming up, the Philly Godfather. We're just getting this party started. We're live at Screwballs in King of Prussia, live on 97.3 ESPN and on twitch.tv, BrunoNation Live.
Our number 2 of Thursday Night Football Countdown to Kickoff show is being sponsored by the Philadelphia Federal Credit Union. Your town is our town.
Turned him upside down and banged him right down in his freaking No way. There'd be no goat. There'd be goat meat.
Hosting the New England
Santa days. They were animals.
The countdown to kickoff with Tony Bruno starts at 1 p.m. Merrill and Mike call all the action starting at 4:25. This is where the Eagles play. 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's Eagle Station.
I got a hankering for some pizza there.
Get to Screwball Sports Bar and Grill in King of Prussia. Voted one of the 10 best sports bars.
He's already had a full meal. How many pizzas you going to have tonight? How many slices?
Sunday plus
One?
Monday Night Football and a special live
No, you're not going to have one,
NFL
baby.
Countdown to Kickoff show with the Tony Bruno Show every Thursday starting at 6 p.m. Get the daily
That was an
specials on
interesting
Facebook
discussion
and
about,
find your way to
motivational
Screwball
people. Do you
Sports
watch
Bar
old
and Grill in
tapes?
King of Prussia. Screwballs, where sports people go to watch the game.
Covering Philadelphia and the suburbs with a tremendous history of great success in the real estate
Oh,
market.
absolutely. That's old school.
Thompson,
I got the whole collection. I got
Kristen
autographed.
has been in the real
Oh,
estate
look what's
business for
coming, Harry.
20 years and
Look, can
specializes
you
in
see
buyers,
what's coming
sellers,
out?
and investors. You can
Ladies
call
and
Kristen
gentlemen.
directly at the Keller Williams Realty Group, 215-429-2451.
We'll do it live.
215-429-2451.
We'll do it live.
Kristen Thompson, your real estate advocate, who will work tirelessly on your behalf.
Don't you
ensuring the
cry
sale of the purchase is the
no
easiest part of the process.
You're in charge of hiring, and Indeed has solutions like online skills tests, which let a candidate show that they're the right hire. We'll also have a dolphin chatter excitedly in front of the perfect
Oh,
candidate.
man, we got the whole.
Okay, there's no dolphin. But skills tests, that's a for sure.
See why independent
Op-
research by
Oppie.
Silk Road shows Indeed delivers 3 times more hires than any other job site. Visit Indeed.com/promo
Yep.
today and get a free sponsored
There's no
job
snow out
update on
there,
your first posting.
except
Terms,
in the
conditions,
jockey
and
rooms where they're
exclusions apply.
snorting it.
This Thanksgiving, think outside the oven with a brand new grill from the Ace Thanksgiving.
Can't get into Twitch here, Rob.
Saturday, November 16th from 11 to 2. Head to your local Ace for great deals, giveaways, and turkey grilling demos, showcasing our top
Yo,
brands.
Krause.
Yes, sir.
I know
what
Melissa's
happened?
one of them.
Anything happened with Temple basketball, like that Scott Walkoff?
Yeah,
said?
they snubbed us.
They did.
Pushed me back. Pushed me forward in Temple football next year. flat out snub.
That's an outrage.
Unlimited data.
Recalculating.
Think again. If you have unlimited data on a network you can't trust,
Who the
your
hell's this
data
guy?
is limited, and so are you.
Off my
Set
page,
your smartphone free with the new unlimited plans from Total Wireless. Get 4 lines with unlimited data on the nation's best 4G LTE network with 100 gigabytes at high speed, then 2G for just $25 a month per line.
You have arrived at your destination.
Ah, beautiful.
Get the new unlimited plans. Total Wireless. Total confidence. Available at authorized dealers. See terms and conditions at TotalWireless.com.
Robin, your penmanship is really bad.
Take an extra 15% off. Save on cuddle bed sheets.
Oh, okay.
1, 2.
That's Trish and Ted right there. I know that.
And a Bella single serve coffee maker
Eddie
just
and
$33.99.
Eric.
Plus, take an extra $10 off your $50 home sale purchase. Plus, get Kohl's cash.
Sophie D is going to be at Club Risque this weekend.
No.
Yeah,
I
pissed
know
me
she's
off.
one of your big favorites.
Oh, man.
One of the guys that listens in Cincinnati, he said he went to see, there's a Philly chick, Aurora something, or what was her name, Robin?
Aurora Snow?
No. It wasn't Aurora. It was.
By Davio Steakhouse and fueled by
I guess she's not
IBEW Local
getting
98,
plates for the
John
pizza.
Doherty, business manager.
Kelly Devine?
No.
She's from Wilmington.
You're live.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We got the Corona premieres rolling, Harry and I. Harry's already almost finished his first one. We're back in the spirit, live at the great Screwballs. The pizza's here, but yet we have not been able to touch it. But Tony next door at Angelo's did his thing. Actually, he was ready to go home, and he almost forgot, and then Coach Racich had to go in there.
I don't think he almost forgot, did he? No.
Oh, yeah.
No,
I don't
Getting
know.
in the car.
I think Terry Bradshaw ran him down in the parking lot.
Showed a little swiftness. I got one more run left. A major catastrophe. I just used it up for your pizza.
I tell you, Mason Rudolph has looked good. He's getting coached. He's improved each and every one of these last 4 weeks, and that's why they've won 4 in a row. Their defense and their quarterback.
Well, their defense. I mean, the Minka Fitzpatrick trade. To me, of
Oh,
all
yeah.
the impact players that were picked up at the right time.
Dividends.
This
it's
guy
paid.
has been, he's got 2 returns for touchdowns. He's got, 5? I have his numbers right here. He's got 2 touchdown returns.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's everywhere. And where do I write it here?
Got a lot of notes there.
5 interceptions, a fumble recovery, 2 touchdowns in 7
games. Yeah.
Crazy.
And he's been dominant. Absolutely
And Minka, we
dominant.
trust.
That'll get you to the Pro Bowl.
Absolutely. And then you look at the other, and there's a lot of numbers in this game. Harry has some too, but we mentioned Brian Hoyer. October of 2014 was the last time the Cleveland Browns beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Brian Hoyer was the quarterback.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And he's still in the league.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway.
Beat him or they tied him?
No, they beat him.
Yeah, Hoyer's with Indianapolis right now. He's actually playing because
I know, and that's why they lost the other night. That and Adam Vinatieri not being able to make field goals or extra points doesn't help you either. But since 1995, the Pittsburgh Steelers are 36-6-1. Straight up, Harry. This isn't points break.
36-6-1.
6-1 against the Browns since 1995.
That is
so they've
dominance.
7-0-1 in their last 8 games.
This is not a rivalry.
And you know
it's
how
too
many,
one-sided.
You know how many times these teams, you know what the meeting will be and how many times they played going into tonight's game? Let's test it. Let's see these Pittsburgh Steelers experts.
Yeah, how many times?
I'm going to say 120.
135th meeting.
That was pretty close.
That's pretty good.
Not bad, not bad.
This is the 135th meeting of these 2 teams. So this is one of those, and obviously Cleveland's been bad for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they just keep trying to reboot new quarterbacks. But we'll have to pick later on. We have a lot of our great regulars here tonight. Where's Joe Krause? Because he said he had a big announcement.
He's behind the big
light.
light.
I can't see him there. I'm looking right through the light, I see him through the light. Now, Joe, of course, every week here, wherever we are, whether it's here at Screwballs on Thursdays, Landmark Americana on Mondays, and, of course, Toll Man Joe's on Sundays, there's always fabulous, fabulous prizes and giveaways. What do we have for those? But, again, we always start with the 4 and Tony's in there. Good job again, Tone. I've been craving the pizza for 2 weeks now, man.
Of course, Angelo's Pizza.
Angelo's Pizza, next door to Screwballs. Joe, what do we have for them tonight?
Tone, we are going to, Nick, bring that audio down a little bit, thank you. We're going to give away the final 2 seats on the bus, the Tony Bruno Magical Bus Tour to Washington on December 15th. There are 3 seats, but We're giving away 2 seats tonight at Tolman, or right here at Screwballs. All right, and then Nick, is this audio okay or no?
I don't hear you in my headset.
I can hear.
You okay? Yeah. Go ahead, Joe.
All right, so we're giving away.
The mic is horrible.
Okay. Should we kill this and do it on a different headset?
Yeah, do it on a headset. All right, we'll get back to Joe, but we all know the 4 most important words, or the 5 most. Must be present
to win. Yes,
so you got to be here at Screwballs if you want to win a chance, not just for the bus trip to Washington, D.C., which is the hottest ticket of the fall, but because all the things. Sixers tickets, Flyers tickets, you name it, concert tickets. Joe Krause has everything here, everything. So that's why the crowd comes in here on Thursday nights, because they know, A, the food is great, the atmosphere is great, we got the games on, everything you need. We even have TVG up there if you like the 7th and Del Mar and you want to get some action tonight.
Well, right now, Krause's got a headset back.
Right, so better
now let's get back to the business. Let's get down to the business, Joe.
So 2 seats left on the Tony Bruno bus trip down to D.C., which will be December 15th. We'll depart from Tollman Joe's. You'll lead the bus down I-95 in a luxury limo where you'll do a live broadcast.
Now, when we have the bar with the flashing lights on top, to make the whole thing look like a big parade down, when we have like motorcycle cops escorting us down there.
That part of the conversation I'm working on right now.
I knew you would be, Joe.
We'll get the police out. We'll get the bus, the charter, and everything out of Tollman Joe's and up on 95. So 2 seats are left, Tone. That's it. We'll give them away tonight. Now, there's 1 seat remaining. So we have 2 to give away, and then there's 1 seat. I'm going to award that seat to the first individual listening to the broadcast tonight.
Also, this person doesn't have to be present to win.
I'm going off script for this.
Oh man, I like that.
And here's why. I'm looking for the first person that can identify the 1 spot in the Delaware Valley where you can purchase a Carson burger.
Carson burger?
Okay.
I know where this is.
All right, so the first person that can tell us or tell you, I'm not even sure how they do that, but you'll figure that out, can tell us where can you get a Carson burger in the Delaware Valley. And the reason that's out there, we'll have 54 Carson burgers as part of the tailgate.
On the bus.
On the bus, absolutely.
Yes.
And there's more to come, but I want to start there.
And that's made from bison, too.
Oh, is it
Carson
really?
burger, because, of course, he's North Dakota State, and the bison.
That is great bison knowledge right there.
Where in the Delaware Valley is the only spot you can get a Carson burger? So that's out there. That's the last. That's the very, very last seat. And by the way, I'll let you go with this. I got a call from the bus company today from the charter. They received a couple of phone calls from people to see if they could purchase a ticket to get on the bus.
Wow, this is hot, man.
It's a hot.
Sounds like you need another bus.
It's a hot ticket.
There's going to be scalping. There's going to be fights. There's going to be like Popeye's chicken sandwiches. Once that bus pulls in, people will be fighting to say, no, that's my seat. No, and then we'll be pushing and shoving and throwing people out of the bus. How awesome is that going to be, Harry?
We need that one woman from McDonald's in that viral video that went out months ago where she's about 6'6" tall, and she's beating the crap out of a bunch of customers.
That's happening every day at
the
Popeyes.
bus.
Though. Every day, there's not a day that goes by where there's not another Popeyes throwdown. So that we're going to have beverages, Carson burgers. It's going to be an unbelievable. I mean, even Harry Mays, who's been to that beautiful stadium down there at FedEx Field.
No, it's a dump.
Is as pining for his opportunity to be. You going on the bus with us, Harry?
Yeah, man.
And by the way, Tone, I can guarantee you 54 Carson burgers in presentation form. You've never seen anything like it.
Man, it's going to be good. I want some extra buffalo. Can I put some buffalo in with my bison?
Hopefully,
I like mine mixed.
Hopefully, Carson will still be vertical when that game comes around, because he doesn't usually stick around for weeks 14,
come on. Now, why are you going to put the bad juju
They'll be
on?
fine. They watch the Super Bowl. They watch the Super Bowl movie. They'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll watch the Super Bowl replay.
Hopefully,
he was on the sideline.
What's the matter with you?
Hopefully, he'll be playing in meaningful games week 16 and 17.
Gee, Harry, you have to spoil
I gotta
everything.
be real.
We got enough Carson haters in this town.
I love him. Are you kidding me?
Ridiculous,
You would
man.
think he was Blake Bortles when you talk to some of his fan base. I swear to God.
Have you seen some of the throws some of these quarterbacks make to wide open receivers? Not guys in tight windows. I mean, guys who have like 8 yards past the other guy, and they can't make the throws. So that kind of stuff. I know Nick Foles is going to start, and God bless him. I'm happy for him. He's back in the at the helm in Jacksonville.
Right, his collarbone is all fixed.
Exactly right. Minshew mania has subsided right now. But we do have the coach here who's a Pittsburgh. But here's the story about the coach that I want to expose.
This is what happened before the show, right?
This is unbelievable.
This is why.
You know what you're doing
This
to me
is
right
why
now.
when you're a Philadelphian and you decide to go to the enemy lines.
The enemy.
And stay.
You
go behind enemy lines and you stay there.
We're neighbors.
Who's
neighbors?
Pittsburgh and the
Pittsburgh
Eagles.
might as well be in Indiana.
They're
Exactly.
neighbors.
You know that.
Short
You know what's
drive.
closer to Philadelphia than Pittsburgh?
Washington.
New York, Washington, Boston.
Rivals.
Boston, Massachusetts is closer to Philadelphia than Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania
We
is
were
to
once
Philadelphia.
one. The Steagles. We were once one.
Yeah, for
We
a
were from
year.
the same
For
womb.
1 year.
That's like the same womb.
Well, you don't like talking about the past. You don't even want to talk about a Super Bowl that was 3 years
And
ago.
I have 6 conversations.
And you know,
if I want to.
what it took to cause that?
You
The
know what's so funny?
Nazis.
You know,
The Nazis.
Okay.
That's it.
Ironically, I always get, why are you always talking about the past? Your 6 Super Bowls. And what are the Eagles fans doing now? Showing the past
No, they're
in the
not.
locker room.
The coach is showing it. NFL Film shows those things. So should the NFL Network not show past Super Bowls like they do every weekend? Come on, man. And by the way, I have inside information. I hate to throw him under the bus,
man,
Aaron.
this is gonna be bad.
But not only
I
is
don't
he a
think my kids
Pittsburgh
even know
Steeler
this.
fan, he acknowledged that he was he was a Dallas Cowboy fan first.
No.
I was a Tony Dorsett fan.
Wait a
first.
second. Why? Because he went to Pitt?
Yes, and then he went to the Cowboys, so I started liking that team. And then when the Cowboys played the Steelers in the Super Bowl
In 1980?
72 or 75, I don't know. I was real young when it happened.
Well, Dorsett-
I switched right before the game, and I was Steelers ever since.
Harry, I hate to do it to him, man.
That is weak.
We have to give him one of
That
these.
is really weak.
We have to give him
40
one.
years in, I'm 40 years loyal. I was. I don't think my kids even heard that story before.
That
That's
is
bad.
a national
That's bad
outrage,
how you
ladies and
expose me
gentlemen.
in front of my
We
seats.
normally have people thrown out of the Delaware Valley for that.
In
We
front-
will build a wall around bleachers and not allow him in anymore for that.
I'm driving the bus to D.C.
Now, of course, Nick grabs the first piece of pizza.
Of course he does.
One-way
And
Nick
he's got
doesn't
like
even bring us one.
He's had like 10 fried shrimp already. Now he's on
One-way
a piece of
Nicodemus.
pizza. But he couldn't get Krause's mic right.
It's an outrage,
Now,
man.
why is he here? Is he here to eat or is he here to get the mics right?
Both,
That's
actually.
a question I need to ask.
Well, we want to thank all of our great regulars who are here tonight. We have so many great people who show up every single week. We want to acknowledge them, of course. Tricia and Ted, they're here every week, man. They go everywhere. Tricia and Ted, and then, of course, you got Eric Cohen, Eric Hiriak, and we got all the other people in the room who sometimes pay attention, sometimes don't.
Trixie and Ted. You know, I was on Dancing on Air with Trixie.
The bars.
Were you really?
We go
Dancing
back.
on Air.
We go back.
Yeah. My ex-girlfriend when I was in high school was on that.
Was the hair
Dancing
sprayed
on
up
Air?
high?
Oh, yeah. Big
Trixie's
time.
hair said,
Yeah, big
sprayed
time.
all the way
Now,
up?
who was the host of Dancing on Air
Oh,
at the time?
great question.
Wow.
Danny Terrio, right?
Was it
right,
Danny
that's right.
Terrio?
Yes, you're right.
I was going to
Danny
say that.
Terrio.
He always wore those like
Wait,
red
are you sure it
shoes.
was Danny Terrio?
Yes, it was.
No, there was a local version.
That's a different show.
Yeah, that was the national show.
Yeah. Danny
Eric
Terrio
Cohen
was-
will know. Eric, who was on Dancing on Air, the local
Was
host.
it on Channel 17?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ex-Bruce?
Eddie Bruce.
Eddie Bruce.
Eddie Bruce.
Danny Terrio was on something, though. I don't remember
Not
what
Earl
Dan
Bruce.
said.
He
Not
coached
Earl
Ohio
Bruce, no.
State.
And not, of course, the great left-handed bat that the Phillies picked up this season, who played
Bruce.
Jay Bruce.
Or Jack Bruce.
Or Jack
the great
Bruce.
drummer from the Cream.
Exactly right. That is great Jack Bruce knowledge, Harry.
Eddie Bruce.
That's why we're here. Eddie Bruce.
About the Phillies manager getting a gig, huh?
Hey, how about
that's the perfect town
thought he
for
was
him.
done.
It really
he
is.
perfect for San Francisco.
Exactly right. Little does he know that in July and August he'll have to be wearing a parka in
Right.
San Francisco when that's the coldest summer in San Francisco is the coldest winter in San Francisco is July and August.
Right.
That's when it's free. People go to San Francisco for the first time and they think,
Yeah.
oh, it's California, it's warm.
Yeah.
And that's why they sell more sweatshirts in the Embarcadero
Right.
down there because people show up with shorts and flip-flops and jeans, and they're like, it's freezing. So they sell them, and they sell them for like $15, so they sell a gazillion of them.
Who said that quote? The coldest summer I ever spent, or the coldest winter I ever spent was a summer in San Francisco.
I don't know what it was. No,
Mark
it is.
Twain.
That is.
Is it Mark Twain? Okay.
And Mark Twain ripped Philadelphia, too, so he didn't just – and that's not a rip. That was actual true.
Yeah.
Because it's freezing in Canada. Not when I say freezing – people think it's going to be 80 degrees. It's actually nicer in the fall in San Francisco, September and October, than it is in the summer months of July and August, particularly.
But you go East Bay, it's like 99 degrees.
Oh, yeah, you go over the Golden Gate Bridge in Sausalito.
Or Marin or whatever.
Yeah, where all the rich people live, Harry.
Exactly.
They don't even allow me in those neighborhoods anymore when I go there. In the meantime, was John McMullen going to join us soon?
Yes, next segment.
Next segment?
Yeah.
Our Eagles insider, John McMullen, he has a CBD update tonight, too.
Oh, he does?
Yes, a CBD update from the National Football League. We'll find out what happened at Eagles practice today. We'll ask him about Jim Schwartz and all the important insider stuff that only John
Alshon Jeffrey's ankle?
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll ask all those important questions next when the great John McMullen joins us next, live here from Screwballs, 97.3 ESPN, and, of course, Twitch TV, twitch.tv/BrunoNation Live.
Live from Screwballs and King of Prussia. It's
This is now.
This is just now.
Absolutely.
Data Boy 19 says that it is raining in San. Oh, Tony just went off mic. Oh, I see. Pizza. Pizza is more important than you guys, apparently. Everybody on Twitch. But I don't blame him. He's starving. So, it's not to. Whoa, hello.
Hey, Josh, you there?
Holy crap. Hold on to the. What the hell?
You have John, John McMullen coming up.
That was really loud all of a sudden. Oh, here. Oh.
Josh can't hear me. Where's the audio on this? Should be on 4. There you go.
Oh, my God.
Do you have John McMullen, right, coming up out of the break? Thank you, sir.
Blew my ears
Josh,
out.
it sounded to me like that was the new Tall Man Joe spot, correct?
Holy crap.
Okay, but that's the new one with the elimination of the. Right, yeah. Hunter has that. He'll send it to you. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Thank you, sir.
I know. Thank you. Took it outside.
I want some too. I'm going to go grab some. I will. Don't worry.
I got to eat. I don't get much time here.
Pepperoni's real good. Pepperoni.
Yeah, they have fantastic pepperoni here. I think I figured out what happened. When you reached over, you turned my feed up really, really loud by accident with your sleeve. And it was this one. And all of a sudden, I was just like blown out. I will definitely go on load management after the show.
How does he get it back there? Hey,
What?
Josh?
2G for just $25 a month per line.
You have arrived at your destination.
Get the new unlimited plans. Total
Tony,
wireless.
he's talking
total
back to you.
confidence. Available.
I can't hear him.
See
You can't
terms and
hear
conditions
Josh?
at
Can you kill that
totalwireless.com.
song, man? I can't hear Josh.
The holiday
Josh.
season is here, and it's time for our best offer of the year.
Josh?
During the Ford Black Friday event. Now, for a limited time,
What's
get
Tony? Is Tony
20%
2 or
estimated
3?
savings on select 2019 Ford models.
I just
You're
heard him a
ready,
second ago.
and so
Josh,
are
hello?
I didn't hear him.
Start the season
Sorry, I
off
was
right.
getting John
And
McMullen
don't
on the phone.
wait
Oh,
to
okay.
enjoy our best deal of the
Now, how are
season.
people guessing
That
on
is
the
20%
Carsonburg for staying
estimated
at the
savings
station?
on select
They're listening.
2019 Ford models. The Ford Black Friday event ends soon, so hurry in
Is there a
today.
station text board or something you
Eligible on
guys
select
use?
2019 model
Yeah,
year
we
vehicles.
have the text
Vehicle
board over
must
here. You
have
want to give
arrived
that
at
out.
at least
You
61
didn't give out
days prior
anything.
to the
Nobody
sale
get
date.
anything.
Estimated savings include an average dealer discount based on a sales survey of average discounts offered by Ford dealers nationally. Discount may vary.
McMullen's
Dealer
on, by the
determines
way. He's
price.
coming back next.
For all offers, take new retail
So,
delivery
yeah,
from
the
an
text board,
authorized
that way
Ford dealer
everybody,
stock by
including Twitch,
December
So
will
you have the
2nd,
text board
2019.
number?
See participating dealer for
609-403-0973.
All right, let me
You're
write it down.
listening to the Thursday Night
609.
Football Countdown to Kickoff Show with Tony Bruno and Harry Mays.
What was it?
Presented by
609-403?
Body Trick Wellness. Powered by Davio Steakhouse. And fueled by IBEW
0973.
Local 98. John Doherty, Business Manager.
We got pizza, Tone.
We have pizza action here. The great Angelo's right next door. Tony himself brought those babies in, and I have yet, because I started eating it so late, so I didn't even get to have more than half of a piece of pizza, Harry.
No, you got a slice of the alige there,
I got
right?
the alige, I got the anchovies. In the meantime, a man who probably is really mad that we're eating pizza and doing a show, he joins us pretty much all the time. He's on 97.3 24/7. You get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you turn the radio on, chances are you'll hear John McMullen.
Well, yeah, football at 4 every day on the Sports Bash, too.
Not 4 a.m., that's 4 p.m.
No, it's 4
in the
p.m.
afternoon.
Yeah.
I don't think John's doing many 4 a.m. hits. John McMullen joins us at practice as we get ready for the big game. John, great to talk to you. You know, Monday night we were talking about the Super Bowl, and, you know, Tom Brady was talking about it when he was asked about it and whether or not the Eagles should even think about it. You talked about how Malcolm Jenkins didn't even want to acknowledge it right after they won it. And then Jim Schwartz racks the video for the gang this week. What happened? What was the result when you heard that?
Well, I don't know why Jim Schwartz racked the video, because they weren't very effective defensively. Maybe you want to rack that offensive video, but I think they're two different teams. You think about all the changes, and it starts at quarterback, obviously, for the Eagles, but the Patriots, you know, remember Julian Edelman wasn't in that game. Danny Amendola was. Rob Gronkowski was still there. So the Patriots have kind of morphed completely from an offensive-heavy team to a defensive-heavy team, top-ranked defense in football so far this season. And the offense has kind of struggled. Eagles, we know the issues they've had at the receiver position, and they're trying to fix that, and probably going into this game without Alshon Jeffrey. It's looking like he missed the second straight practice today. So you could be looking at a receiving corpse of Jordan Matthews, Nelson Aguilar, and J.J. Arcega-Whiteside.
Wow. Sign me up for that, John. Woo! That is a fantasy football team if I've ever heard of one. But,
yeah, you know, I saw that Donovan McNabb was ripping this receiving core. Does he remember who he had when he was playing here trying to win a Super Bowl?
And guys like
James Thrashton. I mean, James Pinkston, James Thrash.
Charles Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, come on. And if anybody's going to be sympathetic to trying to win with mediocre or average at best receiving cores, it should be Donovan McNabb, right?
Yeah, if you think about Andy Reid, the frustration over losing one of the NFC Championship games boiled over to the point they finally went out and got Terrell Owens, and we know they finally got to the Super Bowl. But, yeah, I mean, if you go back to James Thrash and Todd Pinkston, they were more effective than these guys have been this season.
Oh, yeah, they caught the ball at least. They did catch the football, which is a major step up from some of these guys here.
Yeah, I mean, and it's really surprising because, you know, Pro Football Focus was the main, but there were more than one media outlet that rated these guys preseason as the best receiving corps in the NFL. And it has totally gone off the rails. And you can point to Deshaun's injury. That's legitimate. And Deshaun obviously would be producing if he was healthy. I think we all understand that. But you also have to be realistic. And Alshon, when he's been out there, has descended greatly. And Nelson Aguilar has just been terrible. So it's more than just Deshaun getting injured. Other guys haven't performed, and we know J.J. hasn't even been able to get on the field over Mac Hollins, who by the way, still hasn't caught a football since September. So Mac is at the same level that I am and Tony Bruno and Harry Mays over that span.
Hey, John, there's an old cliche about it's not who you play, but it's more about when you play them. And here they are, the Patriots coming off the bye, as are the Eagles. But they're coming off the bye, and Belichick's 14-5 straight up off the bye week. And also they're coming off a loss leading into that bye week, which really has to smart. That was one week against Baltimore where the Patriots kind of looked like a normal football team. So is this really bad timing for the Eagles?
I mean, the Eagles have been good off byes traditionally as well. I mean, mainly through, I think you go back to 2001, they're both 14-4. Most of that, obviously, is Andy Reid.
Yeah.
And good preparation coaches tend to do take advantage of their time a little bit better. But, this is the same as the Super Bowl scenario. The Eagles were able to win that, obviously. So it's uphill, but you're going uphill anytime you face Bill Belichick. This is the best coach in the history of the NFL, and that's not hyperbole. I mean, there has never been a better coach. So you're always fighting, and my dog agrees. You're always fighting uphill, and there's nothing you can really do about it. So you just go about it and try to get your work done and make it about you more than Bill Belichick. Because one of the issues I have with every team that faces the Patriots is Belichick gets in their head. They're so concerned over it. They start doing things they don't normally do. And I think the Eagles are good when it comes to stuff like that. They focus on themselves. They control what they can control. And I think that's the way you got to go about it.
We're talking with John McMullen, and as you can hear, the dog is barking. Does that mean that the Eagles as a 3.5-point dog
No, that's
at home?
the Steelers tonight.
Or the Steelers tonight as underdogs? Is that a sign? Is the dog? Are you going to have your dog be a tout now and be the tout dog? John McMullen's tout service.
That's true. My dog always pots. That's my wife leaving at an inopportune time, and my dog seeing the neighbors.
Does your dog have a Twitter feed?
No, but she should. And she would be much more popular than me.
The great John McMullen. John, of course, I saw earlier as I was driving up here, I was on my phone, we have a CBD situation that affects tonight's game?
The Browns have moved on from Antonio Callaway. I think that's more of an issue for, that's a really talented guy who's really fast. And obviously any receiver that hits the open market, what does any Eagles fan do? We got to go get that guy. Well, that guy's going to be suspended for 10 games. So that's looming. That's one of the issues the Cleveland Browns released him for, but also because he's been late to meetings. There's a host of issues, but he's had significant addiction issues dating back to college. He's going to be suspended for 10 games. So no, the Eagles are not going to pick him up, but that's going to be his excuse, is a tainted CBD product, which I said, I believe it's the first time we've gotten that excuse in the NFL, but it's not going to be the last.
So it's not a Whizzinator situation. So it's CBD oil that was tainted now. So this is, as you mentioned earlier, the first CBD situation in the NFL, Harry.
Yeah, the NFL needs to get with the times. This needs to be you got to
quit. It's legalized
quit
everywhere.
Criminalizing marijuana and CBD. Really. Do everybody a favor.
The NBA did it. The NBA now, you have to smoke weed and be on CBD to get into the NBA.
I'm not going to. I will not draft you unless you're smoking bowls every night, Tony. It's ridiculous.
Harry's close to Aton. I like Aton, so we all know there's nothing wrong with smoking marijuana for any of us. But I will say this. I will say it is not. It is the easiest thing in the world to pass the NFL marijuana test. You get one test. It's clearly defined. As soon as you pass it, ironically, I think it's a joke. It starts April 20th every year, 4/20.
That's funny.
And then once you pass the test, you can smoke all year, and everybody in that league smokes. I mean, it is absurd. And the only people it catches are people that really have significant issues. And you could argue that maybe it helps them in some way. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but to argue that they're harsh on these players, I mean, anybody can pass that test with a modicum of common sense.
That's the only test Aton routinely passed.
Exactly,
in his life. But
now, why didn't Callaway use a Whizzinator?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't understand.
He needed a fall guy too.
I know.
He could have used that too. All right, John. Let's look at this game from a defensive standpoint for Belichick against the Eagles. What do you think he does? Because Alshon may not play.
No, John doesn't think he's going to play.
Right, he's probably not going to play. But even if he does, he's going to be severely hampered. So would you think he's going to put Gilmore maybe on one of the tight ends, like a Zach Ertz primarily?
I don't think so, because you're talking about one of the best corners in the game, and you can do a lot of things with tight ends as far as putting them in line versus flexing them out. So the last thing you want is a cornerback dealing with some of that traffic with a tight end that's in line. So I think the more likely scenario is that he will bracket Zach Ertz, he will double team him, and they will tell Stephon Gilmore to shut down the other side of the football field. And with the Eagles receivers they're going to throw out there, that's not going to be difficult for Gilmore. Yeah.
Now, John, the other guy that I saw that was having some health issues is Jordan Howard, who they absolutely positively need to be out there pounding the rock.
Yeah, he's been limited Wednesday and Thursday, but I think he's going to play. I think, if you think about Jordan in his days in Chicago, he's always been a high-volume runner. And if you're a running back in this league, at this stage, you're going to have aches and pains. So you got to manage them. I know Tony's been talking about load management. I think we're getting a little load management practice for Jordan Howard. He's going to play. He's used to running through things like this. And, yeah, he's very important. The Eagles have to run the football against this team because they're great against the pass, but they're susceptible at times against the run. So Jordan Howard's going to be a big, big part of this game plan, and he's going to have a big game.
Now, I don't have a problem with I don't have a problem with load management during the week on practice late in the season with running backs.
Right.
I have a problem during the game, like the NBA does, and like Shady McCoy got a load management game for the Kansas City Chiefs last week. Why would Andy Reid give a guy, one of his best running backs, a load management day?
Probably because the other guy had a 91-yard touchdown run. That's a nice way of saying, well, the other guy's better anyway.
I can't believe Shady wouldn't complain about that. I mean, getting benched and now calling a benching a load management day?
Yeah, well, Shady has obviously a big history in this league and Andy, so I think he's trying to pay a little deference to him and say, yeah, you just sit over there, Shady. We love you, but watch the other guy run 91 yards.
Wow. The great Coach Rasich here, and he's got his Steeler gear on. His whole family's Steelered out.
Break soon, guys.
It's an outrage. We got a break, John. It's just an outrage what I'm witnessing here tonight up here in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. I don't know how they allow it, but it is still America after all.
Thanks, John.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
We will see John Sunday at Toll Man Joe's for our big Eagles pregame show from 1 to 3 o'clock. Leading into Merrill Reese and the boys down there against the New England Patriots at Lincoln Financial Field.
Yeah, the 4:25 start. I love the 4:25 start.
I thought you liked the 4:20 starts better. We got to come back. We'll take a break. Joe Kraus will have an update on the Carson Burger situation, which could get you a ride on our trip to Washington, D.C. That's coming up next. Stick around live from the beautiful Screwballs in King of Prussia on Thursday night. Countdown to kickoff.
Our number 2 of Thursday Night Football Countdown to Kickoff show is being sponsored by the Philadelphia Federal Credit Union. Your town is our town.
Toll Man Joe's, like Krause's coats, is that something for Sunday too? People bring coats? Oh, okay.
I put the 97.3 ESPN text board number up on the screen and everything.
No, but I hear the ads playing on the...
Confirm with Harry that that's actually the correct number. Because we were going live right at the same time. That's the right number, right?
609-403-0973.
Experience.
That's it.
Okay, good.
Robin put it on the Twitch stream.
Bruno, Aton and McMullen, presented by Corona and South
Is there another pepperoni up there, Robin? Is there a pepperoni up there? I need a pepperoni, because I don't want to get it. It's hard for me to get out of here.
Landmark Americana in Glassboro this football season. Who knows who you'll see?
Covering Philadelphia and the suburbs.
You need one?
1, 2.
History of great success in the real estate market.
thank you,
Meet
sweetie.
Kristen Thompson, a proud graduate of Villanova. Kristen has been in the real estate business for 20 years.
He delivers a good pizza. He delivers a good pizza.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. He delivers good pie. He delivers good pie.
215-429-2451. Kristen Thompson, your real estate advocate, who will work tirelessly on your behalf while ensuring the sale or the purchase is the easiest part of the process.
So you think you have unlimited data?
Recalculating.
Think again. If you have unlimited data on a network you can't trust, your data is limited, and so are you. Set your smartphone free with the new unlimited plans from Total Wireless. Get 4 lines with unlimited data on the nation's best 4G LTE network with 100 gigabytes at high speed, then 2G for just $25 a month per line.
Does Alshon have another year on his contract, or is he done?
Henry, put that on.
Total confidence.
He's got 2 more?
That was a rookie move, dude. You banged the freaking.
No.
That was rookie.
It was pizza grease.
That was rookie.
OB1+ battery kit for just $149.
Rookie move.
That's why everybody needs one of these suckers.
Sit down and relax.
Choice from
Yeah.
cordless drills to saws, even a radio. That'll make one powerful gift come Christmas morning.
Slam that thing down.
Powerful gifts.
Come on, Henry.
Get a tool for free.
Slipped.
At the Home Depot.
Hard not to, though, if you're trying to do anything with your headset.
I had pizza grease on me. I was trying to slide back. I can't even hear myself. Can you hear me?
Yo.
I can hear you. Do you need to
Dude.
say something again?
He has 2 more years.
Is that better?
That's better. Much better. Thank you.
What are his numbers for the next 2 years?
9.9 base. Total cap hits $15 million, and the next year is $18 million.
Why don't they pick up Dez?
Only pay for what you need.
Or Colin Kaepernick, put him at receiver.
You have a lot of comments on the Twitch board, by the way.
I got myself cookware because I'm cooking on Thanksgiving.
Kaepernick should go to the Bengals.
I like you again.
I'm hearing. I saw online today that the Bengals and the Steelers were interested. Believe it or not.
Steelers aren't going to bring him in.
No. Then.
What's that?
Oh, they have the list.
Well, apparently the league's now not saying that they're not going to tell Kaepernick's people who's showing up for this tryout.
But Kaepernick wants decision makers there. I heard him quoted.
That was part of the lawsuit settlement.
Yep.
Got to do a mock tryout. It's all bullshit. Smoke screen.
Coming back live.
I got to groove you a little bit to the Papa was a Rolling Stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. And when he died, all he left us was alone. Which means you have 1 seat on the bus to go to Washington, D.C. on December 15th, Harry.
How dare Dad die before he paid the mortgage?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
That happens.
I mean, come on, man.
It's a live here at Screwballs. Philly Godfather next hour. But Joe Krause has some important announcements now, ladies and gentlemen, because the text board is blowing up now. The 1 extra seat on the bus to Washington. We asked the question earlier, right, Joe? Explain it again. People
There's
can
1
text
seat.
in.
There's actually 3 seats when the show begins. We'll pick 2 winners tonight here at Screwballs to get on the 54-passenger luxury liner Tony Bruno Magical Bus Tour down to D.C. on December 15th. There's 1 seat remaining on that luxury charter, and we're going to give that. It's the only time I'll ever do you do not have to be present to win. But
this is a rare. I don't ever remember seeing a
this is rare.
Must be present to win situation be waived.
I am waiving it for this 1 answer for the first individual who can identify the location in the Delaware Valley where you can purchase and enjoy and savor a Carson burger. There's only 1 spot in the entire Delaware Valley.
And I found out about this place today.
It's a
so
great
I didn't
spot.
even know this existed.
I don't know where it is either.
It's
now,
a great
Joe,
spot.
I want to clarify, though, the 1 place that they have to tell the first person to text it to the text board, right?
I'm not sure how we're doing
Yeah,
that.
that's the only way to do it.
How can we do it?
We have a Twitch stream riding, but also
609-403-0973. That's the text board.
That's the text board. Text your guesses to that number, whether you're watching us on Twitch, you're listening on 97.3, This way, Josh back in the studio can keep track of the guesses. And obviously you want to go to this game. You're not just guessing to win something and you say, what did I win, and have no clue. You want to be present to win, and you're not present to win, but you still have a chance to win from home for one of the rare times that you'll ever have those opportunities.
And by the way, 54 of these Carson burgers will be part of this luxury charter down I-95. So pretty good stuff. And the burgers, as Harry mentioned, learning about it today, off the chain, as somebody once said.
It's none of that plant-based stuff. This is like real
No, this
bison.
is bison meat.
This is real bison meat.
The original meat.
No, it's bison with the
Bison.
Z.
Bison.
Like if you say it wrong in North Dakota,
Where I
they
come
get
from,
pissed.
where I come from, we call them buffalo.
Yeah,
They're
right.
pretty much the same thing.
Right. That's Western New York now.
They
Buffalo.
roam free, Harry, and that's what we love. We
Free
range
range
buffalo
free range
bisons.
bison.
So one person wins, goes by themselves, and gets a burger.
They're on the bus with 53 other crazed Eagle fans. And remember, Henry, this is the Tony Bruno Magical
what's the
Bus
matter
Tour.
with you, man?
Dude, I hope a Steeler fan wins it.
What's wrong with you, man?
Come on, Steeler Nation. Participate.
I'll be doing the Bang Bus tour down in Miami
Oh,
for
yeah,
the
we're
Super
going to be
Bowl.
doing that later.
For the
absolutely.
Super Bowl.
I mean, I never miss that.
I booked my trip last night.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. You get a good fare?
Real good.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
you're going to have to pay $60 to check in and
Well, yeah, right.
$50 for a bag. And
Right.
then you're going to sit in the cattle
For the flight
car.
attendant to say hello is another $10.
Exactly
Yeah.
right. For her to sit on your lap's another $100.
Well, that's $100. Yeah.
Stick around with much more coming up in the next hour. The Thursday night lock, and of course the Philly Godfather still ahead.
Yes, he
live
is.
at Screwballs here on a beautiful Thursday night for football.
Health Update with Robin Stoloff, brought to you by the Wound Care Clinic of South Jersey and Jersey Shore Medical Alliance.
All right, so for those of you who heard that, and you know the answer to where you can find a Carson burger in the Delaware Valley, and you want to and are able to go on the Magical Bus Tour with Tony Bruno down to D.C., text your answer to the 97.3 ESPN text board at 609-403-0973. The number is up on the Twitch stream. Again, that is 609-403-0973. Doesn't matter where you are listening from, but if you are able to go and you want to go and you want to try and win, text your answer to where you can find a Carson burger in the Delaware Valley.
Better and healthier life. I'm Robin Stoloff for Health Update.
Brought to you by the Wound Care Clinic of South Jersey.
And no, bison and buffalo are two different
I know.
species.
They're very similar, though.
They have been interchangeable because they have been interbred. Do you know where the only location in the United States where bison still roam free?
Yeah, Catalina, California, Robin.
Correct.
You think I just fell off a
And
car
they're
truck?
smaller. The buffalo are actually, maybe it's the opposite. It's either the buffalo or the bison. Now I have to look it up.
People, don't wager until you speak to us. There's a lot of things going into the winner of this game, and we have the winner. We will give it to you for free. Call us now. Pittsburgh, Cleveland,
Yeah.
I know. Robin and I have been to Catalina many times. They were brought there for movie shoots, you know.
Yep. And
they
they're the
brought
only
those bison there for movie shoots, and they left them there.
This is the place.
Okay, I was right. So the bison are the ones that are
That's the
only,
place with the bison burger.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
only natural
Yeah.
purebred bison left is in Catalina. It was bison. I was right. Buffalo are bigger.
You know, I was going to say Bison Dealey, but that's
Bison
too soon.
Dele.
Yeah. That's too soon. I can't hear it. There's something wrong with my mic. I'm hearing myself, man.
Where are you?
It sounds like I have to yell because I don't.
Yeah, he got thrown off.
Turn up my local a
I don't know
little bit.
which one you are.
He got thrown off a boat in like the South Pacific or
I know.
something.
If we ran
Hello,
it through the board,
hello.
this wouldn't
That's
happen.
better now. That's better.
Excuse you.
Is that you, huh?
Yes, it was.
Damn
That went
it,
out
Harry.
over. That reminds me of the
That
gender
went
reveal
where?
video that it went out over Twitch.
Oh, good.
Did you see the?
Because all the people on Twitch have never
I know.
belched or
Did you see the gender reveal video that we
shit
posted?
water, the blue powder.
No.
It's so awesome. I'll show it to you. Everybody on Twitch saw it already, so I'm not going to redo that.
A lot of wrong answers?
You have unlimited data.
Wrong answers.
Come on, man.
How many guesses so far? A lot?
Your data is limited, and so are you.
Oh, how many?
With the new unlimited plans from Total Wireless, get 4 lines with unlimited data on the nation's best 4G LTE network.
I think the fifth person doesn't understand the context.
Here, Tony, show
$25 a month per line.
You have
Oh, wait, how you have to watch?
destination.
Robert, now watch this.
Plans. Total Wireless.
Oh, yeah. Dude.
Upload authorized dealers. See terms and conditions.
Wait a
at
second.
Watch.
Get to Kohl's.
Oh, awesome. That is awesome.
Now, we broke this down on our show yesterday, trying to figure out whether that was rigged, whether she had a device under there.
Right.
Look at her. She's naked. Her butt's
Yeah.
there.
I think she has one of those little squeeze pouch devices because
That's
it's
incredible.
the poof is too perfect.
Wow, I like her.
Right?
Did you see that?
The poof is too perfect. There's no way that she was just doing that with powder on her ass.
The second to last segment. Whatever. Yeah.
Who is Collins that they keep saying on the
Gender
intro?
reveal, baby.
When you guys come back,
Show Coach Race it. Tony, show
Okay,
us.
hang on, Robin. I'm listening
Who
to
is
Josh.
Collins on the when they do with the announcement? Tony, you, John, and then who's that? Does he come on?
Bruno and Mays.
I'm excited for it. I'm ready for it.
Featuring Eagles and NFL insider John McMullen, Colin Thompson, and the self-proclaimed king of the coaching world, Henry Racich. Presented by Body Check Wellness, powered by Davios, and fueled by the IBEW Local 98. Now, the countdown to kickoff.
6 wrong
Let's play some
answers
damn
now.
football.
With Tony Bruno and Harry Mays.
Oh, I can feel it now. An hour away. Harry Mays here live at Screwballs. Thursday Night Football. Very interesting game, obviously.
It is.
The Steelers are on the rise. They were 1-4. We remember how awful they were. They lose their quarterback. They went to their second quarterback. Now they're on their third quarterback. And tonight, we will release the game. By the way, I've already released my pick because people are waiting. So go to thepropsnetwork.com. Thepropsnetwork.com. P-R-O-P-S. You don't have to pay anything. You go in there. My pick has now been broken down and revealed for tonight's game. I will release it on the air, but for those people who want to get the latest information, it's right there. And you can also go to TonyBrunoShow.com and then click on the link, and it sends you to the page where the pick is.
Beautiful.
You know, but you must be present. No, you're not. So anyway, on our other contest for that one ticket on the bus ride, the magical mystery tour down to D.C. on December 15th, people are guessing on the Textoso line, as we like to call it. And if you want to go, one person only. We're going to get the. Somebody asked if the Washington Redskin coffin that caused that big brawl with Mike Scott of the 76ers.
That was
Remember in the
week
park?
one. Yeah,
that was in the parking lot.
Right.
Remember those guys had an Eagle coffin?
Right.
And then Mike Scott walked in with a Redskin jersey.
Right.
Maybe bring Mike Scott with us on the bus.
You might.
And then
unless the Sixers play. I mean, he might play that weekend.
Maybe we'll ask for a load management
Maybe
day for Mike Scott. We'll take him back down there, and then he can throw down with Eagle fans in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I tell you, I don't know if he's going to have even any Redskins fans down there to help him out in a melee.
You never know what's going to happen because you know the quarterback for the rest of the season for the Washington Redskins, Harry.
Well, it's Dwayne Haskins.
Dwayne Haskins is the starter for the rest of the year.
They got to figure out whether he can play or not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the smart move.
Yeah.
It's a smart move. What are you going to do? Put Colt McCoy back in there?
No, I mean the season's long since over, and now they're in a real heat though too for like a high draft pick.
Yeah.
You got the Bengals who look like they're not going to win a football game. They are awful.
They really are.
They have an overmatched coach. They don't know what their quarterback situation is. I saw that they are one of the 11 or so teams that are going to send a representative to watch Colin Kaepernick this Saturday. And I tell you, Colin Kaepernick could walk in there tomorrow and start for the Cincinnati Bengals.
No, I totally agree with you. And the whole Colin Kaepernick thing is such a crazy story. Because, first it was supposed to do it on a Tuesday because that's when the GMs and coaches are available. Then the NFL made him do it on a Saturday. And then the NFL said they were going to release the names of the teams that went down there. Mm-hmm. And then they said, no, they really weren't. That was a misunderstanding. We never said it. Teams have said they're going to send, not their GMs because it's a Saturday and teams are getting ready. But a lot of teams are going to send scouts and people down there.
Player personnel guys.
Player personnel people. So I don't know how many people are going to show up. But you know what? This is all part of the lawsuit that he had with the NFL, and the NFL trying to make good and say, hey, listen, we're not trying to keep you from getting a job. And the one thing that the NFL has to do is they can't say nobody show up because
Right.
then they could claim collusion
Well, that's
again.
collusion, yes,
exactly.
yes,
But
yeah.
nobody has to sign him. They just have to show up and say, hey, we went and saw him work out. We watched
Right.
the interview. And now, now you make a decision on whether you want this guy on your team or not.
I know Seattle was thinking about bringing him in not too long ago, but they never did.
Right.
And I think there's word that Baltimore a year or so ago might have had some interest, but they never did anything. So
Is it legit or is it?
Could he
a
play
farce?
for a team today? Yes,
Oh,
he
yes,
could.
he probably
He could.
Yeah, he wasn't that bad.
He's been apparently keeping himself in real good shape.
Yeah, and again,
you know?
I don't have a problem with
works
this.
out.
Yeah.
But I think the problem is there's no trust between the NFL and Kaepernick's agents and a lot of fans who are on his side. I'm not on anybody's side in there. The guy has a right, he has the right to play, but no one has to pay him to play just because he wants to play. And so what he's doing is good. He's been working out. He goes out. He shows what he does. It's just like going to a combine.
Yeah.
And so then they answer questions, and if somebody wants him, they'll sign him. If they don't, they can't cry. See, the NFL's doing this on purpose because this way they can say, see, we let you have an open tryout.
Right.
Nobody wanted you.
But the GMs aren't there,
Right.
but the scouts are there, and they can see. That's what they do. They scout. You don't have to have a general manager or a coach there from a team to watch him work out. And so the bottom line is there'll be a lot of people there, and then the NFL will say, see, you can't say that nobody wanted to see what this guy was up to right now. And then they'll say, we did our part. We had we let you do this private thing. We have it on videotape. We'll send the interviews to anybody that wants to see it.
I hope somebody signs him.
I do, too.
I think it would be a fantastic story to follow. Like if he gets signed, let's say by Cincinnati,
Right.
whose season's totally in the toilet. What do they have to lose, right? They bring him in there, and it would be something that, he might be starting in 2 weeks, and you're like, hey, can he play or not? I'd be interested in that.
No, that's
as a
I think
sidebar
this,
kind of story.
But the bottom line is this: the NFL. This is a PR stunt for the NFL more than it is for Kaepernick.
I agree.
The NFL wants to look like they're doing right by him by allowing this open practice, but it's not. The media fans can't go see it.
No.
The media is not allowed in this thing.
Oh, really? I didn't
No,
know
it's
that.
it's not an open practice. It's like
a pro day for one player.
It's like a controlled environment
Yeah.
where only scouts
And they're
going
gonna
to
interview him, too.
and
That's
then
a
there'll
big
be an
deal.
interview. Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't think everybody. I think it's a one-time interview by one person. And then they videotape it and then make that tape
so it's
available.
not individual interview.
No.
Okay.
He's not sitting
So it's
down.
not like the combine.
No, he's not
Okay, I
sitting
got
down
you.
with each organization representative there.
Okay.
He's going to work out for everybody at once, and then he's going to have one interview, and that interview then will be seen
Is
by
Jim
the
Gray going to do the interview?
Jim Gray will be there, yes.
Wow.
Michael Bennett's going to be there, and he promises he'll stand again like he did for the Dallas Cowboys last weekend when they lost that football
Will
game.
he be wearing his short little shoulder pads?
Probably, yeah. I think so. Anyway, so that's what's going on with Kaepernick this weekend. Mr. Thursday Night, Harry, I got the numbers here.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Monday Night stumbled last week with
Okay.
a rare loss, 13-2, and now my winning percentage on Thursday night has dropped to 86%.
Wow, that
I was at
stinks.
92%, and now I've dropped all the way
be
to
relieved.
86%,
Wow.
Harry.
That's like not even a B+.
It's absolute. My Monday night record, because we had the double dip on Monday, I told everybody Seattle, everybody killed me.
Yeah.
See, oh no, the Niners are going to roll them. And I kept telling people, listen to me. I'm Mr. Monday Night. And I said, the Philly Godfather laid off the side, but he took the total. So I said, I agree with you with the total, which actually had to go to overtime to cover.
Yeah, right.
Or last field goal that tied it up at 24-24 because it was 46.5 or something.
And
So-
how about that field goal by the Niners kicker?
Yes.
Was that an homage to Vinatieri before he says
Well,
goodbye
a lot of
and
people
goes into
thought
the
he was
Hall
going
of
to. I mean,
Fame?
he nailed two earlier
That
ones.
was awful.
And then they had the tunnel shot. Did you see it? He missed it so bad left that somebody in the tunnel got hit by the
It went
football.
into the tunnel.
I know.
Like Gump. It went into like Gump, like Forrest Gump. The ball went in the tunnel.
It was like that cat that ran up the tunnel in the Giants game.
So that game was huge. And Russell Wilson, again, showing why he's probably the MVP.
Yeah, he's
Listen, I love
he's
Lamar
unreal.
Jackson. But Russell Wilson, you don't give him multiple chances. And he
Yeah.
made some bad throws, and he made some bad plays.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is they gave him a minute and something, and he went down and got a winning field goal.
We'll be
out of it.
worrying about him in another 10
Yes.
days or so.
And that
as he
game,
comes
as
in.
people maybe already know, that game has been flexed out of Sunday
Good.
Night Football.
Good.
So normally you worry about, the Eagles going to get flexed this game. That Eagles-Seahawk game, which was an 8:25 Sunday night game, is now going to be a 1 o'clock game.
Good. I'm all
Why
for
does that
flexing
happen?
out.
Why did that
because
happen
the
exactly?
Packers are playing the Niners that day,
Right.
and they've felt that that's a better game, I believe.
Yeah,
and
is
it is a really good
ratings,
game.
As in ratings?
The Packers rate everywhere.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's a smart move because everybody's, Eagle fan. Well, listen, I want to see them on I like prime time, but the situation was that the Seahawks and Eagles were the Sunday night game. That's on Week 12 here in Philadelphia.
Right.
But the Packers and the 49ers were a 4:25 game. So that's a big game for Fox, Packers and 49ers. Cowboys and Patriots were also a 4:25 game. So you got two really big games, Cowboys, Patriots, Packers, and 49ers. So they said, wait a minute, we need to flex one of those games out of that 4:25 window and take the Eagles out of 8:20 and put the Eagles at 1 o'clock on Fox.
So the Cowboys-Patriots is now the game of the week on 4:25.
Right, because the Cowboys and Patriots would be the standalone game on Fox at 4:25, and the Packers and 49ers are the Sunday night game on NBC.
It makes sense.
Yeah, because those are two really high power. For Eagle fans in Seattle, that's, it's a 1 o'clock game. But no one will disagree that Packers, 49ers, Cowboys, Patriots will be bigger box office in prime time.
Nationally.
Yes. Then that's what it's all about.
So Eagle fans are going to have to start drinking earlier.
Yeah, that's what I said
Sunday.
earlier.
That's really what it comes down to.
No doubt about it, because all of a sudden those people who thought that they could start drinking at 6 a.m. on that Sunday.
Right.
Now
and
then
go all the way to 8:25.
go all the way to 8:25. That's basically 12 hours of drinking now condensed to 6 a.m. to noonish or 12:30, and that's a real problem for a lot of people in the city, as you know, Harry. But the beer companies, all the little package stores, they're going to be absolutely devastated.
The economy is going to suffer.
Absolutely. The stock market will crash on Monday as a result of this. People will not be able to get through a Sunday, realizing that they can't drink from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. That's 12 hours.
Ridiculous.
That's punishing these people. What are they going to do in the parking lot now between 6 a.m. and noon? Make up for it, probably. Double fisted.
And they will.
I got some good trends when we come back
Oh, I
on
love
all
trends,
these games, on the Patriots, Eagles game, and tonight's game, Pittsburgh and the Browns.
Oh, man. The Browns. No, come on, man. The pick coming up, Mr. The Great, the Philly Godfather. Inside numbers with Harry Mays. We got it all for you here live at Screwballs on the Thursday night countdown to kickoff on 97.3 ESPN. Don't forget, keep calling in with the text board. If you know the answer, the only place you can get a bison burger in Philadelphia. What's that phone number again, Josh? Because it's scrolling up here.
The text board is 609-403-0973.
Text in your answer. You could be on the bus, baby. A Carson burger. That's what I say. It's made out of bison, but it's a Carson burger. And there's only one place that sells it here in the Philadelphia area. We're coming right back, live at Screwballs on a Thursday night.
Hour number 2 of Thursday Night Football Countdown to Kickoff show is being sponsored by the Philadelphia Federal.
So far, I don't think anybody's gotten it yet, right? They had a lot of wrong answers.
Yeah, people are guessing the wrong answer.
Wrong answers. So it's still open to somebody, whoever texts it in first. A Carson burger in the Delaware Valley. Where can you find it? Text it to 609-403-0973. And yes, thank you for following Mickey Wizard. Mickey Wizard? McKay Wizard? I don't know. How would you pronounce it? I'm saying Mick Wizard. I decide how they were going to be pronounced.
Yeah, I wrote it down and I couldn't find it.
6094. It's right up on the
609-403-0973. Text in your guesses.
Yes.
If you know the name of the location.
And it's up on the Twitch board.
Nick.
Yes. But the people watching on Twitch, they see the number also. So if they want to guess, there's only one place to guess. You can't guess on the Twitch board.
Correct.
You have to guess on the
text
text
it
board.
You must.
At 609-403-0973.
Unlike you must be present to win,
yes.
you must text it in to win.
Tone, when we come back, I'm going to give the entire ingredients for the Carson burger.
We have the recipe?
I do.
It's a special recipe release party, Harry.
Thank you, Future Biscuits. Yeah, no, I kind of shit the bed earlier today, but I'm making up for it now, supposedly.
What about my trade? You know what?
I disagree with the fact that I shit the bed earlier, but that's just me. And if anybody even gives a flying F about bison, the bison, the purebred bison, are actually way smaller than buffalo. So when you go over there and you're expecting these big animals, they're smaller than they're like the size of a
bigger than a calf. A little bit big, but
like
they're not the size of like a full bull.
No, they're like the size of a calf. Like maybe a 4 or 5 month old calf. Maybe a little bit more. Thicker. They're thicker though, and they have the same kind of coat, but their horns are smaller.
I may have one more. No, you know what? I'm good.
Captain Russell Haas says, I know, but I'm in Tallahassee, so I can't win
I got
anyway.
to stop
I
at the liquor store on the way home.
No.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
An emergency run here?
Emergency out of what?
Well, it's right on the way.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's right there.
You might as well.
Yeah.
I stopped
Henderson Road and 202. It's right there.
I stopped at that Exxon right at the corner when you pull off of the Schuylkill Expressway there.
Oh, yeah.
What's the exit there? The Norristown?
That's Henderson Road.
Yeah,
it's Henderson Road, yeah.
And now Acme, you use the Acme points at Exxon. It used to be Sunoco. So it's like $2.75. I got 40 cents off a gallon at that gas station. So I paid $2.35 to fill up my tank, man.
D. Conrad Vegas. Why, thank you.
Score your tickets now at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. Flyers hockey. Fly or die.
Fly or die.
Thursday Night Football Countdown to Kickoff Show with Tony Bruno and Harry Mays. Presented by Body Check Wellness. Powered by Davio Steakhouse. And fueled by IBEW Local 98. John Doherty, Business Manager.
You are live.
Who's that mean guy who's called Mr. Thursday Night and gives you winners almost every damn week? I'm talking about Tony Bruno. Can you dig it, Harry?
Oh, I can dig it.
Harry Mays, Tony Bruno here. Miss Robin's here. The whole gang is here. Nick's here. Joe Krause's here. The
coach
is here. The coach is here. He's working the crowd.
He's out gripping and grinning in his Bradshaw jersey. Yeah.
Now you're reminding me of Miss Nancy on Romper Room. I see Bobby and I see Nikki.
Romper Room is my Tinder handle right now.
Oh, it is?
You are out there, yes.
Wow.
But you must be 18 to enter.
Yes.
I just want you to know that now. I'm going to say 21. 18.
Consenting adults only.
Exactly right. So, Bison, Miss Robin's been educating the people on our Twitch stream, Harry.
Yes.
During the break. Because there's a big difference between bison and buffalo. And Robin and I know this because Robin has great Santa Catalina Island knowledge because her family actually once had a chance to buy Catalina Island from the Wrigley people.
Why didn't they?
It was before the Wrigley people.
Yeah, the Wrigley people bought it because her dad didn't buy it.
You blew it.
I know. It was my grandfather. My great-grandfather was going to buy Catalina Island, and then his brother convinced him to buy cattle land down in Mexico instead.
Geez. I hate to do
and
it.
Then when in the early the Depression, the Mexican government decided to anybody foreign who owns land,
you're out.
Right. And so they lost everything.
And so they used to shoot a lot of movies on Catalina, westerns, and so actual bison were brought to Catalina Island, and then when they finished with the movies, they left them there.
Right. Yeah, they left. So there was all sorts of animals that were brought over. The bison that were brought over were the only ones that were able to survive on that barren, shrubby land, and they've thrived over there, but they were brought over before they were inbred with other buffalo on the mainland. So they're the only purebred bison left. Yes,
wow.
left in the
You're not
United
getting
States.
this on any other show.
No, you're not.
Speaking of that.
What's the difference in a buffalo and a bison?
Did you just listen to what she
Is
said?
there a physical difference?
What, is there something wrong with the mic?
Bison are smaller than buffalo.
With the headset in your helmet?
I told you I'm concussed.
Are you not getting to play?
I'm not.
You're starting to sound like Terry Bradshaw.
Hey, Terry.
Now.
Terry, you got to take your medication.
He called his own plays, Tony.
Hey, Terry, you got to take your medication. It's time.
My CTE tablets.
I think what happened
CBD.
to you is what happened to Terry Bradshaw.
I still didn't hear the big difference.
Back in the 70s when that Cleveland Brown defensive lineman turned him upside down and dropped him right on the top of his head. at Old Municipal Stadium right
Exactly.
in the dirt.
I got to
Did you
give the
see
coach.
that?
Yes.
Good thing he
video?
had 4 rings to break his fall.
I got to give the coach another one of these tonight. I hate to do it.
Bring him
to
on.
man.
Bring him on. It's because I picked the Raiders last week. My team's going to the playoffs.
Jeez.
We're
All right,
trending.
I'm getting now on the Props Network. Kyle has just checked in on the Twitch board. He's the guy that I sent my picks to. He posted them on the Props Network. He said pregame data for Steelers-Browns, courtesy of PointsBet, minus 86%. So 86% of money line tickets and 82% of money line are on the Steelers.
That's fine. One of those is mine.
74% of spread tickets and 79% of spread money on the Steelers. 65% of tickets and 83% of the money on the total over. So all the money's on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, nobody
tonight.
buys into the Browns, and why should you? They stink.
They do.
But
They
you know
stink.
what? This is a game that we typically blow.
You already lost to them in week 1.
We always do like this, and the Bengals will give us a hard time. It'll be a field
All
goal
right.
game, boring.
I got numbers for you on.
And then we're going to we have a recipe from Joe.
Oh,
once we
okay.
get
You wanna
these
do
numbers
that now?
Yeah, let's do it because
Let's
people
do
at
the
home,
recipe.
if you're out looking for buffalo or bison, you can settle for bison. You don't want to do recipes on the Food Network.
Yeah.
You don't have to have bison. You could substitute buffalo. But don't substitute that fake plant-based garbage.
Sirloin turkey, does that work?
Yeah,
Like,
you can
basically do
use
sirloin
anything
turkey
you
for
want.
everything.
But if you can get a nice bison, you find one walking around on your lawn like wild turkeys want to walk around, you get yourself a bison, and then you do what Joe Krause is about to say. So you can make your own Carson burger, like the one restaurant in the Philadelphia area does.
In the Delaware Valley, Tone, listen to the lineup for this Carson burger. And again, we're still a lot of activity, a lot of answers. All of the answers to date, wrong.
Wow.
Where is the one location that you can get the Carson burger? 8-ounce bison burger.
8 ounces of bison.
Right.
Wild turkey bourbon bacon jam.
Wow. Say that fast 5 times.
Fried white cheddar cheese curds.
Cheese curds on top of the bison?
With
man.
jalapeno hollandaise.
Jalapeno. This sounds like the bit that, what's his name? What was the wrestler that did? A jalapeno burger. Then I ordered another one.
Still a little bit more. Still
okay,
a
go
little
ahead.
bit more.
I think it was Stone Cold who did that. Remember, he did this whole diatribe. Go ahead.
I have
I'm
no
sorry.
idea what
Topped with onion straws.
Onion straws. Are they plastic or are they paper?
Uh,
Okay.
Depends where you get.
It depends on which state. California, they're paper.
And then all of that comes on a brioche bun.
Nice, a little brioche.
Oh, I love it when
Brioche
you
bun.
brioche me, baby.
All right,
Yes.
so
Oh, yeah.
where in the Delaware Valley can you get the Carson burger? If you can tell us, there's one seat left on the 54-passenger luxury liner, Tony Bruno's magical bus tour to Washington.
You're getting all choked up over
Yeah.
this.
It's gonna be a
Joe
great
doesn't
trip.
normally get this excited about a giveaway, but he's all choked up tonight.
This may be the best giveaway of the year, and if you remember, the best to date was back at the Great American Pub when we kicked it all off.
Yes.
This one will
We gave away
rival.
tickets to every Eagles home and away game for the entire
Well,
season.
the divisional games,
Divisional
home and away,
games,
yeah.
yes. Divisional
Yeah.
home and away games.
So
Dallas, the Giants.
this trip may bump that. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
All right, now I got some numbers here for you.
Let's get it back from.
All
Let's now that we've done the food portion of the program, let's move back to the degenerate gambling portion of the program.
All right. The Steelers, this is in same-season rematches. So, of course, this is divisional opponents.
Right.
That's the only teams you typically
Hated
have
rivals.
rematches
Hated
with
rivals.
during the season. The Steelers are 25-8 straight up in same-season rematches, 19-12 against the number, and 9-4 road games against the number in those same season in the last 33 same season rematches. The Browns are 4-23 straight up and 9-17 against the number.
Yeah, I mean the Browns have been horrible for so long, and we know, and the Steelers with their turnovers, they forced 26. All the numbers are an avalanche, just like they were against the Seahawks last week on Monday night.
So why is the
everybody
spread
was
so
all?
low?
I don't. You know why? Because they're begging people to take the Cleveland Browns. They're begging people.
Pittsburgh's 8-1-1 in their last 10 against the number as an underdog. 8-1-1.
So then the question is, why wouldn't they why wouldn't the line move lower to try to get Cleveland money? Because if Cleveland's -3 or -2.5, and everybody on the face of the earth thinks the Steelers are going to win this game easily, why would Cleveland still be favored? Nobody's going to keep betting on Cleveland if the number goes down, right? They're going to be, because Cleveland's favored. The point is Cleveland should not be favored in this game.
How could
right?
they be? I don't
Cleveland
understand.
should not
This is
be
why I don't
favored.
understand
Pittsburgh
gambling.
does have a backup quarterback in. I mean, this is Mason Rudolph. I mean, he's been really good the last 4 games.
But they're getting Connor back tonight, even though he's
Yeah.
going to wear bigger shoulder pads because he's been hurt. So they got some weapons. But when you look at the Cleveland Browns, they've got a lot of weapons. Baker Mayfield's been erratic, but you know what? He hasn't turned the ball over in 2 consecutive games. You look at his receivers. He's got to have Kareem Hunt, who's a Cleveland native, and Nick Chubb tonight in the backfield.
Right.
Now, does that mean they're going to win? No. But the thing about these games, when they look too easy, they're not. As I guess Michael Vick was the one who said it, it may look easy.
It may look easy, but it's
hard.
hard. Yeah.
And so this looks too easy. If it was so easy, why would the sports betting sites and all the tout services be saying Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh? Don't you think it would change the line even more? Huh?
Yeah, it's a good point, and I think that's something you can ask our next guest, the Philly
We will ask the Godfather.
All I know is I look at this just from a football standpoint, and Pittsburgh is, to me, the better team right
And they're
now.
playing great.
Yeah.
4-0. Remember when
I
we
had
were
them
here?
last week against the Rams. That was one of my 2 wins.
Yeah, I got sucked into
2-0
the
in the
Rams.
NFL.
But I remember when we were
Last
here when they weren't winning and they were 1-4, and the coach was visibly shaken every single week at the Steelers starting 1-4.
Yeah, he wasn't pimping Pittsburgh shirts back then, was he?
And remember, everybody and people were down on Mike Tomlin.
We have a
Remember,
standard.
Mike Tomlin was going to go and be. He was going to be the Miami Dolphins coach.
No, the
Or
Redskins.
The Redskin coach.
Yeah.
No, they were having him go. They
Yeah.
had him leaving Pittsburgh
Yeah.
for all these other destinations when they were 1-4. Now all of a sudden they make
win
a great
4 in a
trade.
row.
They win 4. They had the homestand. They win 4 in a row, and now all of a sudden they're right back in it.
But you're right. That trade really energized them as a
No
defense.
doubt about
I mean, not only is he making plays, I think it energized the room to say, hey, we're 1-4, but our management thinks that we still have a good team and we can
They
make
didn't
a
quit.
run.
They didn't quit on their
Listen,
season.
he was
They
the
didn't.
missing piece of the 3-level defense. We have the lineman. We have Watts. We have Dupree.
Yeah.
We have the linebacker. with
Watts
Bush.
playing out of his mind.
He is.
Yeah.
And Dupree's having a
Yeah,
great
I love
year, too.
Dupree.
And then now we have the secondary.
Not
guy.
Billy Joe Dupree,
No,
as you remember.
remember him, tight end for the
Billy
Cowboys.
White
Exactly.
Shoes' buddy.
Number 89,
But yeah, so
I
now we
believe.
have 3 animals at each level. An
I
animal
love
at each
3
level.
animals at any level.
Yes.
So, I mean, the defense, Blitzburg is finally Blitzburg again.
Oh, man.
Because we've been hurting, I'm telling you. I was ready to don some Eagles.
Well, you're going back to the Cowboys. I think he was going to turn back
See,
into
that
a
was
Cowboys
between
fan.
friends
Well, I have to
in
do
a
it again,
quiet
man.
moment. Now I know. Now I know. Cousin Al, are you out there,
You got to
Cousin
watch
Al?
out for me. I'm a rat.
Now here's another Big 12 nugget for you, Harry, because I know you love that college football
Oh, yeah,
landscape.
absolutely.
You love Oklahoma Baker Mayfield. You know where Mason Rudolph played?
Oklahoma State.
Yeah, and
Yes.
they played each other a couple times.
Sure.
And Baker Mayfield 3-0 against Mason Rudolph and the
That's
Oklahoma
Bedlam.
State.
That game is called Bedlam.
It's called Bedlam.
Yeah.
Is it?
And do you see?
Interesting.
Because nothing is better than watching a 62-55 game in the Big 12
no
on a Saturday.
overtimes.
With no overtimes in the afternoon. Bedlam.
That's right.
Bedlam because nobody could stop anybody. And you look at the numbers. Mayfield was throwing for like 600 yards. Rudolph was throwing for 500 yards in those games.
You're right.
They were just insanity.
And then
There's
Mike
no
Gundy yelled at the media after the game.
I'm a man. I'm 40. That's why I can't watch college football. I pick 1 or 2 games, Harry. I can't sit down at noon and
I
watch.
was 6-1 in college last
No, that's
Saturday.
why you sit down and watch them.
Exactly.
I'm not watching them if I don't have any action in them. You know, I
Yeah.
watch LSU, Alabama. I'm watching the big games. But I'm not watching Montclair, play Holy Cross. I'm sorry.
Saturday at my house is all action.
Now, Harry, you have multiple TVs going?
Yeah.
I wasn't jacked up for Ohio State, Maryland like they were on television.
How about Ohio State at Rutgers laying 52?
Wow.
Are you taking Rutgers in the 52, Johnny?
Hell no. Are you kidding me? You'll know when. Ohio State's mission now is they're on a.
Oh, they want to just
They
murder
were up
everybody.
43 and called a
Timeout
timeout
against Maryland
in
at the
the
end of the
first
half.
At the end of the half, you're up 4. This is why I hate college football because they're teaching our children all the wrong things about Where's the sportsmanship?
Oh, sportsmanship.
You're a big favorite over a bad team in Maryland. Stop. You're up 43 points, and there's a minute left and a half, and you call a timeout to try to score again?
Yeah, you know why?
Chuck Wilson used to say, where's the sport? Why? What was the number in the first half?
No, it wasn't the number. They had already blown the number out. They believe that the reason Chase Young got suspended was because of a Maryland coach.
Oh.
Okay, because he's from the D.C. area, the kid. He came into high school in suburban D.C. Maryland recruited him, too.
That's
so
next level revenge, double
revenge. The high
revenge.
school coach ratted him out to the Maryland staff, and that's how the NCAA found out about it.
Wow.
So they wanted to bury the cockroach.
And that's what they were doing.
That's what you do.
That's what Temple did.
That's right.
Temple could say one thing. What did they have in common with Ohio State? They beat down Maryland.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly
yes,
right.
Yes. That's about
What
it.
happened to Penn State?
I think they lost last week.
Penn State, yeah, they lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost.
Meanwhile, is the Philly Godfather coming up next?
He's
or are we
coming
saving
up
him?
next. Yeah, he's coming up next.
Beautiful, man.
We only have 2 seconds to go, Tom.
I know. I actually just stopped. I didn't get another beer. I had my one beer, and I said, that's it.
Right.
That's enough.
We still need the Carson Burger origination. Like where
We should have them here tonight. I want one now.
Where is it available in the Delaware Valley?
Oh,
we have a winner.
Oh,
Josh has just alerted us. We have a winner.
This is breaking news.
Oh, man.
Josh back in the studio watching the text board at 609-403-0973 has a winner for the magical bus tour to D.C., baby. We'll stop in front of the White House and protest whatever they're protesting that day, and then we'll keep going down and watch the football game. That's coming up. Where the Philly Godfather, ladies and gentlemen, will join us next right here at Screwballs on Countdown to Kickoff on 97.3 ESPN and watching us on twitch.tv, BrunoNation Live.
So I have to apologize to Melissa. I was all ready to get all mad at her because or annoyed, not mad, but I'd ordered a drink quite a while ago. And I'm like, what the heck? Come to find out, she brought it over, gave it to Nick. He drank it.
Nick treated it like a piece of pizza on break.
You drank her drink, Nick?
Drank and then
Was it a drink that you would normally order?
I'm taking care of business, gentlemen.
I'm like, hello.
First a pizza snub, then the pilfering of libations.
Thank you.
This guy, he was
Thank
eating.
you.
He always ate his knuckles.
So then what's even worse? Then I said, well, can you order me another one? He's like, what did you have? And I said,
What you drank?
Bombay soda, extra lime. And he scratches his face up like, ew. I'm like, you freaking
After he
drank it.
I saw that all go down. She was trying to put it there, but you were busy, and then Nick reached around you, housed it.
Oh.
Tricky Nicky.
Nothing like a good reach around.
The audacity.
Shit.
Tony, did you see Nick Foles' press conference?
Yeah.
Talking about his injury and how it was
A lot of
meant
God
to
talk,
happen
though, man.
and God stuff. Yeah.
I lit a candle when I was
Yeah,
watching
right,
that.
right.
I got my mom's scapular out. I got the holy water when I was watching Nick Foles today
Yeah.
talk about his
It was
about
a
his,
blessing.
faith.
He got hurt. He got emotionally and spiritually closer. Oh, look at there's Bradshaw. There it is. There it is. Oh!
Speaking of Bradshaw.
Oh, man, that hurt my shirt.
Look at that.
I felt that. I felt that in my jersey.
Speaking of Bradshaw, did you see that he's going to be doing a one-night-only performance at the
Borgata.
Borgata? He's doing a one-man stand-up.
Get outta here.
Yes, he
When?
does.
Robin
He
and I
plays
are going.
music.
I'm going.
He plays
What?
music. Because I guess he plays
Who
a
does?
guitar, right?
He used to
Terry
have an
Bradshaw.
album. He used to have a record. He had an
Yeah.
album out.
So and he
Smokey
told
and the Bandit days.
He does stories.
You know, Terry and
he-
I are boys, you know. You
Nah.
didn't know that? Yeah. I worked with him
They
at
go way
Fox for
back.
11
No
years.
shit. I didn't know that.
So if you're nice to us, maybe we'll,
Well,
have.
I am in. Listen, I'll get the lodging. I got Cousin Al's house. He's got a 6-bedroom house
Jesus.
on the bay.
Sweet.
We'll do it there. When is that, Robin?
December. Let me look at my email. Hang on.
I'm going to bring the jersey down. Get the jersey signed up. What's up,
I
Tone?
want to say it was December
Hook a
6th, but
brother
I
up.
might be wrong.
You rolling?
Tickets
You
are
leaving,
still
man?
available.
You're not
He's out.
You're not going to be present to win.
You're out.
Oh, he's
I'll make sure they don't put you in the back of the bus, man. I'll make sure.
That
they
ain't
don't-
right. That ain't right. That ain't right. Hit that
It's
button,
just
that
not
thing you
right.
always give me. Hit that damn
Jesus.
button.
Will you stop?
His name ain't Rosie Parks.
Oh,
Why
for
is
God's
Coach-
Treating him like
sake.
Rosa.
He's so.
Unbelievable.
Okay, so Terry Bradshaw.
Getting around.
Borgata Hotel Casino, one
was
exclusive
outrageous.
performance.
20 seconds.
All right, kill that damn music, man. I can't hear nothing.
Jesus.
It's a great 50th birthday party.
What's that? I don't know. I don't see him.
Yes.
got it, he
Yes.
got it.
I can't
December
see
6th.
you.
December 6th. Oh, my
With
God.
Tony Bruno and Harry Mays. Presented by Body Check Wellness. Powered by Davio Steakhouse. And fueled by IBEW Local 98. John Doherty, Business Manager.
Get money, yo.
My man, what's up, brother? What you got, Father? Give you a call back in a little bit.
East Coast, Philadelphia, born and raised. In the streets is where I spent most of my days. Chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool. Went against my dad's wishes when I dropped out of school. But mom didn't raise no fool, nor a rookie. My life took a change when I found my
man.
first bookie. I'm ditching the
I'm straight
streets
tripping
full of
now,
drugs,
Harry.
thugs, and thieves trying to get this paper. And the cheese
It's
steak
like
for
watching
sleeves.
Santa Claus come into the Montgomery Mall. Everybody's waiting for the arrival of the man, the myth, the legend, Philly Godfather, even though he and Coach are on opposite spectrums. They still somehow remain friends. And the Philly Godfather ready to break it down for Thursday night football action. How are you, man?
Good, man. I just heard we got a Christmas gift early this year in November. I heard Henry Racich has all his Pittsburgh Steelers gear on tonight.
Yes, he does. And his family is all geared up.
Ride or
in
die.
in
Ride or
Pittsburgh
die,
gear.
Philly. You know how we roll. Tattoo out and all.
What a Christmas gift that is.
I got him even more excited because I told him that Terry Bradshaw is coming to the Borgata in Atlantic City in December, and Terry and I are boys, and he's got a tattoo on his calf of the Steeler logo. So you know he's whack. I may be able to get him that Terry
Wickety,
Bradshaw
wickety,
thing
whack.
signed, man. I may get the coach an autograph on that Terry Bradshaw jersey.
Yeah, I mean, people clown Terry all the time, but to me, he's one of the greatest quarterbacks that ever played the game. I mean, you look at his accomplishments and what he did with that team, and he called his own plays. Like, who calls their own plays anymore? You know?
Nobody.
Peyton Manning.
No, you're right. People called him, oh, he's just a big, dumb guy with a big arm. He won, how many Super Bowls did he win? Four. How many?
Four Super Bowls.
How many?
Against some good teams,
Exactly.
the Cowboys.
Damn right,
Wasn't
man.
it Hollywood Henderson that said that he couldn't spell cat if you spotted him? The C. and the
Yeah, I
T?
mean, everybody made fun of him. He was a Louisiana hick. You know, he was a redneck.
Well, even Chuck Noll didn't like him at
Exactly.
first.
But, you know, they just showed the clip on the Cleveland, the
body
Terry
slam
Bradshaw body slam game.
The head slam. Yeah, that's the play I was talking about earlier. where
Can
they
you
knock him.
imagine if a player did that? Player would be
Oh.
suspended for the player would be thrown
Oh,
out
he'd
of the
be
league.
gone for the league for the year.
league
yeah,
forever.
Yeah.
Oh, for
he
sure.
would be blacklisted for those kinds of tackles back
And that
in
was
the
a
day.
regular occurrence back then.
Right.
Exactly right.
Quarterbacks. I did that to the
they might
Godfather
look-
one day.
You did?
Yeah, in the gym. He got a little lippy. I had to put him in his place.
Oh, yeah? You had to show him who's boss? Is that
He had
right?
to throw his 180-pound self around like a little lint ball.
Wow. Wait a minute now. We don't like fake news on this show.
Did you tell him to put his coffee down first? 'Cause you don't want to
Yeah,
spill the
coffee went everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Went all
Billy
over the
Godfather.
turnbuckles in the ring.
If you're talking about coffee, Henry was so slow that he would throw a left hook. I would go grab a cup of coffee, drink it real quick, and come back and hit him with a right hand.
Fake
That's how
news,
slow he
Tone.
was.
Buzz him up. That's fake news. That's fake
Now,
news.
I want you to confirm here because we don't believe in hearsay or third-person stories.
There's no fake whistleblowers on this show.
Did Coach Racich pick you up and body slam you in the in the boxing ring years ago?
Yes.
No, absolutely. He was just too slow to do that. He just way too slow.
Wow.
Wait till he comes on the show.
So it took him longer to get that left hook going than like Randall Cunningham's release back in the day. Remember how Randall would put the
wind it
ball
up.
way
Yeah, the
down there
whip.
and wind up?
The Godfather's pretty light on his feet, I must admit. He
Yeah?
was you know when Apollo was training Rocky.
Going after he ran after the chicken, right?
Yeah, and he had to Rocky had
Or
to
the
do the
rooster.
dance and
Oh,
do
yeah.
everything Apollo did. That was us.
Oh, okay.
All right, he was Apollo, I was Rocky. But
Nice.
But you know what? You know what Henry had? He had that X factor. He had that determination. He had that drive in him that even if he fought better guys, he would find a way to win. So you got to give it to Henry for that.
Plus, I walked in the ring with a smashed nose and a no neck anyway.
Yeah, you didn't
so it was
care.
a big deal.
Yeah, you didn't care.
No, we've been killing him all night. You know, we killed him about Halloween. We killed him about.
Killed me about Halloween.
Killed
I was
about
getting text on the road.
Wearing all of his Steeler gear. But he's a good guy. I believe he may be a good person.
But is he on the wrong side tonight?
Exactly, because obviously, Philly Godfather, the whole world has Pittsburgh winning this game. And why are the Cleveland Browns still favored then? That's the question.
Well, 70% of the action offshore in Vegas and in Atlantic City. Everyone's on the Steelers tonight. And, I mean, I've been on the show all year. I've talked about how good the nucleus of the Steelers team is for weeks now. I mean, Pittsburgh owns the trenches. They have the best offensive line in football. And on the defensive side, I think they rank third overall in the, just the sack rate and defensive efficiency. So they're one of the better teams in football. They're red hot. 5 of the last 6. I think their only loss came against the Ravens in overtime. And with the great nucleus, you tend not to turn the ball over. So, I mean, their turnover differential, I think, is the second best in football, right behind the Patriots. It's either plus 13 or plus 14 off the top of my head. And usually if you don't turn the ball over, you're going to win games. This team's very disciplined, very tough to beat, doesn't make any mistakes. But with that said, and you just brought it up, Tony, if you read between the lines, the bookmakers are telling you that this game, if it was played on a neutral field this week, the 3-6 Browns, who have only outperformed the closing Vegas number just 22% of the time this season, this game would be a pick'em. I mean, it doesn't make any sense against this red-hot Steelers team. I ain't buying it. I'm not buying it. I'll take my chances here on the Browns, laying 2.5 versus the road team on a short week. I mean, it's always tough to prepare with a short week. And Kareem Hunt is back. Last week, I think he had, 7 receptions and 4 rushes for about 75 total yards. So he brings an added dimension. He brings what the Browns needed because they had some difficulty scoring in the red zone. And I think like I said, he adds another dimension to this offense. I like the Browns here minus 2.5. I mean, I don't like to be on the square side. I know Henry's all geared up. And even though Pittsburgh is the better team, I think it's just a bad spot for him here.
I totally agree, and that's what I've been saying. Not because I like the Browns and I don't like the Steelers. I got to look at this game next level. And here's the other thing. Now, I know Connor's going to be back tonight to help the running game for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's 27th in the league rushing the football. They're 28th on yards per carry. So they're not going to – if they can't pound the ball against the Cleveland Browns and you're going to put it on Mason Rudolph, who's played well.
He's played well.
But the bottom line is this is their Super Bowl. This is the Cleveland Browns Super Bowl. They know if they lose tonight, they are done. They may already be done.
They are done.
But they are done. But I think this is a chance for them on national television to show up, if they don't make mistakes, they got a chance to win this game. And they're supposed to win this game because they're favored.
Rudolph is 64.5% in his last 4 games completion percentage, 11 touchdowns, 4 picks.
No, he's
played
fine.
really well.
Yeah, and Cleveland has struggled against top 10 defenses. They lost to Denver. They lost to San Fran. They lost to the Rams. I mean, they got problems, but I think it's a bad spot. It's a short week. If this game was played on Sunday, I'd more than likely be on the Steelers plus 3.5. But on a short week, Kareem Hunt's back. I mean, this is, like you said, this is their Super Bowl. You always want to be ahead of the curve, and right now you're buying Pittsburgh at its highest point. So you're paying a premium to back Pittsburgh here, and I'm just, I'm not buying it.
That's why I knew this when the line came out on Sunday night. When I saw that the Browns were favored at home, I knew the Browns were the play. And then I did all the normal research that I do, and I'm convinced that the Cleveland Browns are the play tonight. Mr. Thursday night putting his 13-2 record on the line. Now, what about the total, Philly Godfather?
Man, the game, it opened up 41. It went back down to 40. And then there was some real sharp money that jumped on the over 40. Right now, the line's anywhere from 41.5 on your screen up to as high as 42 at one of the sharper offshore betting houses. I think they're going to put up some points here. It should be a good game. I think it goes over the total.
And now, I'm getting hammered on the Twitch board.
You are?
All the experts. How many of those experts out there are 13-2 on Thursday Night Football? How many of them, Philly Godfather?
I'd say none.
Nobody.
There's no one out there, man. Your resume, your record, you've impressed me so much. I never knew you were this good at handicapping. And anytime you want to be part of the animals at the PhillyGodfather.com, man, you're more than welcome to.
I need to be an animal. I haven't been an animal in a long time. I need to roam free again.
Yeah, my animal days are over.
No, I'm ready to be an animal again. I don't know how much time I have left, but if I have anything left in the tank, I want to roam free with the animals. I want to be free range.
You're a free range
I want to
animal.
be a free range animal with the Philly Godfather, ladies and gentlemen.
Godfather.
Harry, yeah, go ahead, Henry. Go ahead.
Godfather. Every single Steelers game against a division opponent always comes down to a field goal. There's never a blowout. We never blow the Ravens out. They never blow us out. We never blow the Browns out, Bengals out. No matter what it is, they're usually boring games that come down to
Roy
a field goal.
Is Roy Girella walking out on the field tonight?
Wow.
Jesus.
Wow.
You're
Is
going
Terry
back.
Hanratty holding for
Terry
him?
Hanratty will
My
be holding.
goodness. That was awesome reference. Roy
That's good, old
Girella.
school. He doesn't even know who
He
Roy
doesn't even
Girella
know.
is.
You went beyond my – I was an embryo.
He was a Cowboy fan
This
back
guy
then.
Oh, my God, Harry. This is unbelievable
I-
betrayal.
Godfather, I
Eat
drop
two.
a Roy Girella reference, and this supposed Steeler fan doesn't even know who he
doesn't
is.
even know who he is.
Before my time. Before my time.
Wow.
I just turned 50, not 70. I'm saying that I fully expect the game to be close. I don't expect the Steelers to run away with it, and I do expect them to win, but I don't expect them to run away with this. No matter what everybody says, how bad the Browns are, these teams get up for each other. That's why coming out of that AFC North is always hard at the end of the year because every divisional game is a war. They don't like each other up and down the division. They all hate each other. So it's going to be a physical game. I think the Steelers' defense will be the factor. Devin Bush or Minka will have a big presence in this game, and I think that's going to take them over the
Nobody's
top.
playing better than Minka Fitzpatrick. I mean, that was one of the greatest pickups of the season, which really energized the Steeler defense to help them getting Mason Rudolph through the tough time.
They're trending.
Exactly
Steelers
right.
are trending.
Hey, PGF, what's an early lean for you regarding the Eagles game on Sunday?
And by the way,
against
don't
the
forget,
Patriots?
he gave out LSU last week on this very show.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
Money line mania. I like the over in the Eagles game, Harry.
The over,
Over
okay.
44.5, 45. I'm expecting some points. I think the Eagles can hang with them. I haven't made an official move on it yet. I'm just waiting to hear, as the information enters the market, who's hurt, who's banged up. I mean, it's huge. You know what I mean? We still don't know if, some of these players are going to be, on the field on Sunday. So.
All right, what about Temple? Because I saw a line move on Tuesday, I believe it was. That game went from like 3.5 to 6 in about a half a day's time. And there was no injury news that came out about Temple. And I talked to the people down there. They have no injuries other than what was already public. So do you know why that happened?
I have no clue. I'm actually looking to take +7 on Temple.
I have
this line keeps going up.
+6. Yeah.
Temple at home.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So I'm going to be patient. I'm going to wait till the last possible minute. And I can't explain it. I'm right on the game. I've talked to people in Vegas and Costa Rica, and no one knows, who hammered that side. I mean, and that's you got to remember. Early in the week, it doesn't take much money to move these lines.
No, especially a game like that.
That's not really. Yeah, that's not really an important number. 3.5, 4, 5's a dead number. So now you're at 5.5, maybe some 6s out there in the market. I'm hoping it keeps going up, and I'm going to be on the home dog. Temple +7.
Philly Godfather. We are on the same wavelength tonight. We're both going with the I said Seattle. We're both going with the Cleveland Browns tonight.
Don't talk to me.
Which they have to win the game to cover. So they win by a field goal, they cover. That's the pick tonight.
Yeah, and people seem to forget that the Browns are a box score giant, but a game day dud. I mean, they blew out Baltimore. They should have beat Seattle.
Yep.
I mean, as long as they don't turn the ball over,
exactly,
they should beat the Steelers tonight.
I totally agree.
But they do turn the ball over.
Yeah, but they haven't for the last 2 weeks, Harry. They've played 2 turnover-free games. That
Go
doesn't mean
Steelers.
they're not.
Where's my terrible towel?
Right.
Where
we
is
do
it?
have them in the
Let's
truck.
go.
I should have brought
I got it in the bathroom. It's right
Shine
out
Tony's head with it. I should have shined Tony's head with it.
Marbles, man. Nothing but marbles.
Yep.
Hey, Philly Godfather, we'll talk to you Sunday, brother.
I'm going to bring my marble bag next week.
We got to take a break. We're coming back. Wrap this baby up.
Wrap it up.
And then get the hell out of here.
Always wrap it up.
Tap it. Wrap it for you tap it.
Wrap that rascal. I say it all the time.
Exactly
Be careful
right.
out there. We're coming back live in the final segment. on a countdown to Thursday Night Football live at Screwballs in King of Prussia, baby.
Hour number 2 of Thursday Night Football Countdown to Kickoff show is being sponsored by the Philadelphia Federal Credit Union.
It's a beautiful thing. You guys are having way too much fun.
1-2, 1-2.
Strange Rover 38, thank you. Yes. Well, whenever Tony and Harry get together, it is always a good show. These two guys just have way too much fun together. Tony brings out Harry's humor because sometimes he's a stick in the mud. He's not listening, so I can say that. What? I can't hear you. The December 6th thing?
I don't have a calendar.
See these things called headsets? I can hear you through these.
December 6th is a Friday night.
Okay, yeah.
Robin, I'm supposed to be flying to Nashville for my company Christmas party that night.
Oh, really?
And I'm getting ready to blow it off. I wonder if they'll fire me. I'm getting ready to get fired for TB.
Now, if you can't go, I'll definitely take your shirt and get it signed.
Oh, that would be great. I'm going to go. I'm going to blow off this party.
Well,
I got to start looking for a new job tomorrow.
When's the actual party?
Saturday.
Oh, see, so you can leave Saturday morning really
probably
early.
could.
They probably
now, where
even
you
have
flying?
flights.
You said Memphis or Nashville?
Nashville.
There's flights to Nashville on
They
Saturday
probably
morning.
even,
I'm sure.
They probably even have flights to Nashville out
Out of Atlantic
AC,
City, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can get it moved.
Call Nick Cale. He can hook you up.
I don't even want to go to the Christmas party.
My flight to Miami ended up being like $236 to all the fees and
round trip or each
round
way?
trip.
Yeah, we need
So
to
when are
order
you
them
flying
too.
out?
Tuesday night.
It's not bad.
Oh, that's not. We're gonna have to go like on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm doing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then flying home Friday night.
What if we need you to go out there earlier, mister?
Well, I was told to book a flight the other night. I booked it.
Did you check with me?
No.
It's all right. We can handle the upgrade fee.
Jesus.
Are you the
Can
boss
handle
of
the
him? Actually, it'll be cheaper to fly not the week of, but the week before.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because nobody's going down on the Saturday when we go down.
Yeah. Well,
Some media do, but not,
it's actually, but it's nice. It's so much nicer to go in and not have to rush and set up, and
Yeah.
then the Monday night is the media night event, and that's usually the best party of the night.
Aton's going down Monday somewhere.
Is he?
Yeah.
We'll probably fly out on Saturday, the 26th, I think it is. 25th, 26th, something like that.
Due to a decline in the economy, we're announcing a low-cost extended service plan that is now.
Nick's going to drive. I'm putting all the shit in the van and having him drive all the multiple backdrops. I got all kind of shit.
We got to put our stuff in the
Yeah,
truck
we're
too.
gonna-
Did you know?
So then you're
Is
gonna
Aton putting his product in the van?
No, I can't have that product anywhere near this
No.
man.
Oh, no?
No. That in the south of the border is danger.
Oh, when you go to Pedro's place, you got to stop there and get fireworks and shit, man. I know you get more than fireworks there. Delta Downs, Harry. Wasn't that a great song by who did the Delta Dawn?
Delta Dawn. What's that
Marley
flower
Simon?
you have on?
Was it Marley Simon?
Look at
Could
you
it
two.
be a faded rose from
Was it Carly?
days
Can you
gone
look
by?
up Delta Dawn, Robin?
Delta Dawn.
We're coming back.
What's that flower you have on? Could it be a faded rose from days gone by?
Tanya Tucker.
Yes.
Delta Dawn.
Helen Reddy is the answer if you have been listening during the break on our Twitch channel. Delta, though, we're watching horse racing on TVG, Harry.
Yeah.
And, of course, Delta Downs is a racetrack down there in New Orleans.
Okay.
And I said Delta, as we do all the time, I said Delta Down, not Delta Dawn.
Right.
The great song
Not Delta
by...
Force.
Not Delta Force.
Right. Tanya Tucker sang Delta Dawn.
Exactly.
And I even knew the lyrics.
No, it was Helen Reddy sang
it
Delta Dawn.
No, Tanya Tucker.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You just had me look it up.
I thought
Delta
the original was
Dawn.
Helen Reddy.
What's that flower you have
Yeah,
on?
exactly.
Could it be a faded rose from days gone by?
Ladies and
Come
gentlemen,
on, man.
I got to give you a roaring round of applause, Harry. As somebody said, Delta Dawn, not 4th and John.
Right.
Oh, that's different. That's a totally different thing. And you remember Tanya Tucker was married to Glenn Campbell.
That's correct.
And I remember back in the day when she wore those skin
She was
tight,
hot, man.
Oh, she was smoking, Tanya
smoke
Tucker.
show. I mean, I was like 9 and I was looking at her.
Oh,
Tony, I have a Delta Dawn update.
We have a Delta Dawn, not Delta Faucets.
No.
And
you
not
both-
Delta Airlines.
You were both kind of right, although Tanya Tucker was first in 1972. She had a top 10 country hit.
Mhm.
But then a year later, Helen Reddy redid it in 1973 and also had a hit.
Okay,
she had
so
a
we
number
were
one
both
hit.
right.
We were both
Yeah.
right. See that? So let me give both of us a
Now, we
round
won't
of
be
applause.
both right tonight because
No.
you like the Browns and I like the Steelers.
I'm taking the Cleveland Browns. This is how you make your name as Mr. Thursday Night. Going with the chalk, and I tell it to Colin Thompson every Monday night when he picks the chalk. Always goes with the favorite. Never looks next level like I do, even
Well,
though he
I'm
played
going with the
game.
dog tonight.
I
Not-
know you're going
not
with the dog.
Mad Dog.
Not Mad Dog, no.
No.
And the fact is, Cleveland shouldn't be a favorite. That's why this game is screaming at me.
Well, sometimes the odds makers make mistakes.
Yeah, you mean like the Sixer game last night where
Yeah,
the Sixers were only 1-point underdogs
Well,
and they lost by 100?
They were like 3-point favorites and the line flipped.
I know, because
Yeah.
they knew, people realized that the Orlando Magic own the 76ers. They don't only own Amway, they own the 76ers. And they gave them Amway product on their way out the door last night.
Did
from
Fultz end up
Orlando.
with a
Some
nice
parting
game?
gifts. What's that?
Did Fultz end up with
No,
a nice
he was
game?
terrible.
He stinks.
He started kind of hot, couple layups, and then that
Nah,
was it.
he can't make He can't make free
That
throws.
was a
and he can't-
pregame warm-up.
And he can't shoot the basketball.
Yeah.
Other than that, he's going to be
He's
great.
gonna be great.
And it's a shame because I'm not rooting against the kid, but he was horrible. And so were the Sixers shooting the 3-ball. I mean, it's unbelievable how bad this team shoots. the basketball.
Tobias Harris is 2 for 26 in the month of November from 3-point range.
He's 0 for his last 23.
We could do better.
0 for 23 in the last 2 nights. It's an outrage. So anyway, as the Steeler defense, they've 94 points off takeaways this season, the most in the
Wow.
NFL, and that's what makes
Curtin
this
is
team
back.
special. And there he is. Well, you really can't call him the Steel Curtain
Nah,
anymore, though,
nah,
because
never,
they're deep
never.
all the way back.
Never. No.
The Steel Curtain was the guys up front.
Yeah.
Best ever.
Exactly. That was the greatest defensive line of all time.
TB.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. So, Harry, you're going with?
I'm going with Pittsburgh.
Now, Coach, I'm giving you a chance.
I got him on
to
a money
maybe-
line to win the game outright.
Coach Racich, I know this is a tough call for you. You going to go Pittsburgh Steelers or Cleveland Browns tonight?
Of course, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Of course. Who else
Do
is
you
there?
ever go against the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I do not, and this is, that's what a fan does. I mean, listen, I was calling for Tomlin's head.
Yes,
in week
you were.
5 or 6.
Yeah. You're a typical
I'm not a big Tomlin
front
fan.
runner.
I've
You're
never
a big
been.
front
I'm not a big
runner fan.
Roethlisberger fan.
He's done a
I've
hell
never
of a
been.
job these
He
last
has
couple
done a
weeks.
hell of a job.
Gotta give him props.
I do.
Do you want him to go take the Washington
coach to
Redskin
coach,
job now?
As an inferior coach to myself, I'm giving Mike Tomlin some props.
All right, don't forget Mays and Aton tomorrow, noon to 2 from Parks.
Oh, Parks?
That's right.
Love that. I miss Parks.
Don't forget,
Parks.
Big Friday.
Do they
kickoff.
have bison burger at Parks? Not
No,
yet.
they don't.
Who
Let's
won?
work on that.
Yeah, who won? We didn't do the winner.
We don't know the winner, but we'll tell the
No,
place, Harry.
We have the winner.
What's the name of the place that has the bison burger?
Wycombe Public House.
The Public House in
30
Wycombe,
seconds.
PA, Bucks County, baby.
Our winner is Quincy from Pleasantville.
How about that? That's up near there.
So
He's
he
probably
makes
had
it-
one.
If he goes there within
20.
the next 3 days, I'm going to reward him for going to the Public House. A pair of tickets for the Sixers on Christmas Day.
Oh,
10 seconds.
man.
But he has to go in the next 3 days.
All right, we want to thank everybody here once again. A great
5,
night for all the
4,
people who
Get to
listen and
Wycombe,
watch.
Quincy.
We will see you on Sunday at
1.
Toll Man Joe's for Eagles Countdown Live.
The Thursday Night Football Countdown to Kickoff Show with Tony Bruno.
Way to cut it to the wire. And don't forget, if all goes well with Tony's doctor's appointment tomorrow, we will do a show from 9 to midnight
Yes.
tomorrow night. But it's sort of up in the air because Tony has another doctor's appointment tomorrow.
What's
So
that flower? And then
stay
you
tuned.
This is the only show that could go with the Delta Dawn. My God. I haven't heard that song since I was 10.
That was the former Eagle great.
Oh, well, look at that funky
Turkey
thing.
Jones.
He did the same thing to Strawback.
Turkey, remember Turkey Jones?
Is that who that was?
Yes.
Joe Turkey Joe.
No shit. I didn't know that. I mean, I remember that highlight from being a kid. but I didn't-
Big Sexy 69. Harry always shows up when he was with Tony.
Not Turkey Hill, of course.
Yeah, right.
Great ice cream.
Yeah, they got good iced tea, too.
Yes.
Pleasant Valley Sunday, yeah. And we will see you. I'm counting on the fact that Tony's going to be just fine after his checkup. So hopefully we'll see you, everybody, tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern for Into the Night from the Wine Cellar. So grab your drinks, but so keep everybody keep your fingers crossed that we will be there tomorrow. And thank you for joining us.
But there's a bunch of young kids who really do well, and he always gives them love on Twitter. I gotta think of the name. I don't know. They're on fire.